Yeah. What up? What up? It's Big Twins, aka the grimy one. Y'all know the Mobb Deep infamous clique. Yo, check it out, man. I want y'all to tap in to Cigar Talk Toronto, man. You know, they be putting it in, you know, interviews and this and that. So check them out. Cigar Talk Toronto from Big Twin, y'all. You already know.
Hey, yo, it's your boy T.O. Lestat, that is. This is Cigar Talk Toronto. Tune in, light up, let go.
Let's go.
Stack up and we be supreme. Math machines. Stack up and we be supreme. Math machines. Snoring knowledge to acquire a theme. Passing info through prism light streams.
Ain't gon' apologize to no one for nothing. Coming out hard with my style, ain't no front. You ain't with me, fuck 'em. Down for the jumping. Good luck, son. I ain't slowing down this movement or stopping or ducking. No bluffing, no capping. Say something positive to make it happen. If not, keep it moving. We ain't thinking about losing. The universe, we using it. The truth is we in the grooving, so we grooving. In the pudding cruising. Put out T.O. Lestat just to prove it. I spit bars, I rip bars, and hope to gain a following. Don't care what's been a calling to me, and make a little money. Get to the cream. Income coming in through a few different streams. No job, no 9 to 5, I live by my means. A few businesses to bust how they seems. The outcome, I'm living the American dream. I work for Dolo and try to keep my nose clean. Money blue, but it grows green. No scheme, here's my apologies. No, fuck that, no apologies. Go, fuck off, it don't bother me. Yo, go ahead and unfollow me. You care less, you can swallow these. Gritty, grimy, gully, any word from above describes how I get buggy. Shitty, slimy, scuzzy. Trust me, handsome looking dude, but I get ugly. Walk up in the room, they all discuss me.
I already told you that I'm about to go ham. Crossing me a bad plan, you catch a backhand.
Just to let you know who I am, I verbally cut ya, whether in Tim's or stands. Tall as how I stand. No, I don't trust you, mentally gut you. The last cat that fucking ran. The motherfucker you can't stand. Sorry, I rub you the wrong way, you bust ass fam.
You can't fuck with a deranged flow, the sick is psycho. I might go deep low and pipe your hoe.
Who let this kid spit? He's lyrically sick.
He slays the masses by the dose like COVID did.
It's my apologies. No, fuck that, no apologies. Go, fuck off, it don't bother me. Yo, go ahead and unfollow me. Could care less, you can swallow these. It's my apologies. No, fuck that, no apologies. Go, fuck off, it don't bother me. Yo, go ahead and unfollow me. Could care less, you can swallow these.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Cigar Talk Toronto. Saturday night, we're on the Block 105. And before we get into this, I just want to give a quick shout out and a huge thank you to everybody on the Block 105 that tunes in every Saturday. We're just over a month into our venture on the block, and it's been nothing but success. We're at a 9.6 out of 10 rating. So huge shout out and huge thank you. Appreciate all you. And without further ado, tonight we got indie artist that's tearing up the charts, T.O. Lestat, and we got also Chris York, owner of Shadowworks Entertainment. Guys, what's going on?
What's going on, man? Like, what's good? What's good? I appreciate you having us on, man, for real. This is a big honor. You're doing good. I see you out there, got a cool show going. Just interviewing, talking, shooting the shit with people, getting to know people. It's a great platform, man.
That's what it's all about, man, is to get out there and get to know each other. And, we all got stories to tell. And I think if we can sit down and share our stories, we'll find out we got more in common with each other than we don't.
I'm a firm believer in that. And I really truly believe the more you find out you got in common with people, the more likely you are to do the next right thing with them. And then that just is everybody building. And so that's huge. Momentum is a powerful force on its own. When you've gathered the steam up, think about it in yourself. You go from dead stop to momentum where you're pushing a lot, you're giving a lot, you're pushing a lot. And then once you find other like-minded people that are doing the same, momentum quantifies through this dimensional realm that we live in. You know what I mean? And is an unstoppable force at that point. That's true building right there. And I'm blessed to be building with a lot of dope DJs, MCs, producers, radio talk show hosts across the nation and now internationally into Canada. So shouts out Toronto, shouts out Buffalo because I'm a Buffalo boy, and shouts out to Phoenix.
All right. So, with that being said, before we get into it, I'm about to light up my Croatian Mafia cigars. I got the Consigliere here, which is
Ooh,
the cigar of Cigar Talk Toronto podcast. And I'm going to be pouring a drink of, I really don't know what this is because I poured it in here a little while ago and I tossed the bottle. So I don't remember what it is. So I'm about to find out, but that's what we're going to get into now. And you guys cigar
sounds
smokers
good.
at all?
I've smoked cigars, believe it or not, my mother, rest her soul, she passed away a few years ago, but she was a big cigar smoker. I mean, old school Italian family. She loved smoking a cigar or two every year, and she took pride in picking out the best names, the best brands. So I've smoked
Okay.
cigars, believe it or not, with my mom since I was probably 16, 17 years old, because I was already smoking cigarettes.
Oh, wow. Okay. What about you,
I was
Chris?
12. Yeah, I was 12. My stepdad, we were in Tampa and we got Ybor City there. You have a lot of Cubans down there and they're just rolling, they just roll right on the street side and like it's really good stuff. So like I don't know about any of the name brands. I just know if I like it when I try it and
Yeah.
I'm not too particular.
Yeah.
I I've only been smoking cigars for just over a year, and I mainly just smoke blunts, so I think that's what got me used to the strength of cigars.
Yeah, absolutely. The paper alone will get you.
And then once I started smoking cigars, I pretty much quit smoking weed. So
Really?
What?
You
hmm
just,
That's
yeah.
crazy. That's new. I have not heard that one. I've heard it go the other way.
But
Yes, quitting smoking cigs, but that's cool, man.
I started
Yeah, it
drinking
is.
more though, so you know,
Gotta
pick
keep
one, right?
level headed.
Yeah,
Everybody's got a vice. It could be that. It could be gambling if you prefer. Like, everybody's got to have some type of
pleasure in
uh,
life.
yeah, like get them
External,
endorphins pumping.
extrinsic pleasure. Yeah, we
Yeah,
rely so much on our intrinsic rewards. You should, anyways, as a human being, rely on your own accomplishments, what you set out to do, and stuff like that. And guilty pleasures, we'll call them, right? Extrinsic rewards,
yeah.
but that's kind of what makes life human, right?
Speaking of vices, you're a huge advocate for mental health.
Absolutely.
Has hip hop been that vice for you dealing with mental health issues, and is that what got you into being an MC?
It's a great question. That is a great question. Yes, mental health plays a major part in my recovery and in my own mental health. Music is the soul saving force. I mean? I was able to speak my pain through my verses, pen them in a unique way. This all started for me in May. That's why my next album, Fuck Off Me Bonus Edition, comes out May 5th. 4 years ago, May 5th, Teal Lestat was birthed out of pain and severe mental health trauma and alienation from a daughter. And so it's been my saving force. So, I've been an MC my whole life. I've been penning music, freestyling since I was third grade. I wrote my first bar set to
Okay.
Digital Underground, or actually Bone Thugs and Harmony's Mo Cheese instrumental.
Okay, okay.
Classico.
So,
And I'll say that just to kind of add to it, like when I first started talking to Tio when we first met, like he was going through it and just seeing it, seeing the stuff he's had to really go through. That man has the villain origin story without actually, fulfilling the villain role. Like Tio, I say, like he's definitely pissed off about it because we kind of joke around. To is ticked off because it's just life
That's
life does
life.
kick
That's the
you.
mu
Yeah.
That's how pain. That's how pain surfaces in my rhymes. Sometimes anger, sometimes sadness, depression, mental health. It's a good point. Thank you, Chris. And I
No doubt
have,
thing.
it's funny you say that because I was just talking to a gentleman today, and out of just epiphany almost in myself, I said, life could be better or worse, but here's the thing, it could be worse. And I can't forget a day ago, a week ago, a month ago, a year ago. A day ago, I'm complaining I'm working at a job. It's not the best job. I've been a teacher for 20 years. I'm not working where I ideally want to be. But a week ago, I didn't even have a job. And a month ago, I didn't even have a place. I was in an ILP home. And a year ago, I was homeless, hungry, and alone at the knee deep, balls deep into this Lestat. So far, what I would call a trilogy. I'm on my third leg up.
There's something that I always say, and it goes in line with what you were just saying there. And it's, a lot of times we complain about certain things and we take it for granted, but you always got to remember there's somebody out there that would kill to have your position right now. So we always got to be
Absolutely.
grateful and thankful for the moment and everything that we do have, because
Yep.
it could always be worse.
Absolutely
Could
could.
always
And
be worse.
it could always be worse. And it could be always worse, always worse. I've been homeless with no with nothing, no, just the clothes I was sleeping in. And then the next day I was able to get a sleeping bag, and I was thankful for that. You got to be thankful for everything that's occurring, because if you're pushing yourself forward even a tenth of a degree every day, you're inevitably going to pull forward and push forward at a high momentum.
So going back to that time when you were homeless,
Hmm.
what was what was your mindset and your motivation to pull yourself out of it and not say this is the end of it. This is where my story stops.
That's, a deep question, and these are the themes I try to tackle in my music too. So I'm happy you bring it up. I was out there, you know, lost. I'm a triplet. I've always had my two brothers with me. Got they're awesome. They're my best friends, Travis and Trevor. Shouts out Burns and Lil T. You know what I mean? They've always been there with me, but they don't always support my sometimes own self decline. You know what I mean? And I'm just being real with you. And so I've put myself in bad situations sometimes, and sometimes it was done unbeknownst to me. And so out there, depending on the situation, right? I was lost. I didn't have my brothers. I had no money. I had to steal food, which I hated doing. I had to get by. I'm sleeping in lone places. I'm by myself, not talking to no one. And what got me through? I would ride my bike 15 miles every Monday, Wednesday, Friday with two backpacks on to talk to my daughter for 30 seconds. You know what I mean? I would find a hot spot and pull up some beats at a McDonald's and write for 3 hours. You know what I mean? These are the things that I did when I was out there. I maintain communication with my daughter, which I know is my lifeline, and my music, which is my blood, which is my soul, which is my story exposed. You know what I mean? And so it was hard. It's hard out there. You can't take anything for granted. You don't sleep a lot because people are shisty. You're alone, and I'm not a lone being. None of us are. We're social butterflies. We need to be with people. And so those are the elements you're up against. And you could be drinking. I have drunk out there and use drugs out there and not use drugs and drinking out there, been stone sober. You know what I mean? And so your mindset plays a lot into where you're headed. And I'm not going to pass the buck on to anybody else. It's the choices you make as an individual bring you directly to where you're standing right now. And if you change them choices, you'll move forward or back. You're on your own sliding scale.
Facts.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
you was out there in Arizona, and I had a friend go literally to your same city from here in Florida, and he didn't make it out of there alive. Like he literally, he got over there, a dude just handed him a pack of pills, and he was back in. Like he had been through rehab multiple times. He was pretty successful down here, but when he went back home, he gets back into it, and he ends up in jail, loses his
you
dog that was
know,
his baby, loses his dog, and then gets out of jail. Within a week, he's back in. When he gets out the next time, they found him a week later on a park bench. He'd OD'd. So the
that's the truth of the
Fetty is
nature of
real.
the beast. You know
So
what I mean? And
it
even
could
if
be
it ain't drug
anybody.
related, heat
Yeah.
strokes, the heat alone will kill you out here. So when
Yeah.
you're out there, you got to be really aware. It's scary because some people you'll notice they really enjoy it. They're free and they're not using drugs. Some people are out there because they just prefer to use drugs, get high, soak their pain away because some misery is going on in their life, unfortunately. And mental health ties directly into this because I'm guaranteeing at the root of most of those people's problems, mental health, whether it be coming home from war, fucked up, whether you've had traumatic events occur to you, whether man or woman, whether you just have serious chemical off balances, it's not talked enough, and especially in men.
Yeah.
And this is why the last album I put out, Mental Health, Hellth, let me spell that correctly on air, hell in your own mind, man. And so this needs to be talked about. This album is more than just it's a personal memoir of my 23 and 24, you know what I mean? But it's a reminder to everybody that this is where we're at, and we can help each other. We can walk by and ignore each other. Love is the answer
And
to it, you know what I'm saying? And so mental health is just a cry in the dark shadow of self agonizing pain.
and and that being said, is there when you recorded that album, is there a message that you wanted to get across to your fans where they could sit down and they could listen word for word and maybe find something relatable to say,
I
yeah, you know
encourage them
what?
to.
Yeah, I'm going through that too. And you know what? He found a way through it, so I could find a way through it too.
That's
Or have you ever
that's a
had your fans reach out to you and say, "Hey, I'm going through this shit right now, man. Like, what advice do you got for me? What can I do to help get my head out of this?"
that's a great question too. And you know it's twofold. Everything I do is double and triple entendres, especially in my rhymes, but in life too. You know what I mean? Because I put it out there because I want people to know you're not suffering alone. I've been alone, I've suffered alone and thought I was alone, but in reality was just lonely to myself. You know, I hadn't found myself. I wasn't seeking inward. I was like extrinsically. And so you're not alone. You got to look inside first and foremost, because as soon as you're doubting yourself, your whole ego deflates. Your being just harnesses back into nothing, and you're dead inside. And when you're dead inside, you feel like you're all alone, and you're not. There are other people out here struggling with this. It's a very deep and personal album. Every word on it, I lived. This is no capping. This is not me talking shit, putting a concept together. This is real life for me. And so you've been through it. If you've been through it, I have had fans and friends. Man, I'm so happy you put this out. This album, it needs to be out. You know, people that are very fucking prominent, some in hip hop, and some that are just boys of mine, and some that are fans that just like my work, or some people that want to collaborate. So I put it out for people, man, because I'm just a regular person too, and I suffer from mental health, and it's important to me. It's an issue that's worth investigating.
Not only that, but I gotta add to that one is like, recording, engineering some of the tracks being on there as for the skits and doing all that stuff. Um, just listening to that album the first time through, like seeing the things we recorded and seeing
Progression.
the past tracks, dude,
Yeah,
it tells a story, and it's very clear like what the message is. Once you hear the album, you end up just going,
start to
I get what
finish.
I get where you're coming from, and I see where you're going. Like you definitely play into that villain role in that album, though. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, the villain role, and at the end, I start to find myself, with the realization of the last couple albums, or the last couple tracks on the album, Mental Health, the title track, and then We All Die. It's like we're here living a human existence, and then it pushes right into my next album, Fuck Off Me, which the whole album concept there is the inner demons of Teal Lestat.
I'm gonna lighten the mood a bit. You should make a track called Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum. I say in one of my bars, they signed the paper, or they let me out the insane asylum, forgot to sign the paperwork.
They gonna bring him back.
Um, so Chris, you're an engineer.
Hmm.
So for people that are unaware of your role when it comes to putting an album together, you know, he takes his music, he records it, it goes to you. What is your role now as an engineer in your part with that song and album?
With that specific album, we did record a good chunk of it. Like I don't know
Yeah, I
how much of it
recorded
we
it
went.
at three different studios, actually. That album was recorded at three different studios. Yeah, Gas Labs, Salt Mine Studio Oasis, and Shadowworks Entertainment.
Yeah, and so
So
like
some we worked directly together, and some he had stems, and some another producer, engineer
Okay.
had got on too. Yeah.
so it's
But go ahead, tell him, Chris, your role, because this is the most important role of a song. In my personal opinion, I'll interject that and let you go.
they're all three. I'm gonna have to say that like my role in this was just to see what we had, lay it out, and go ahead and run the best. Get it up to the best quality that we possibly can, and make sure that it's sonically good, and then add the sauce, add my sauce to it.
Had the
So
sauce on it.
I gotta add the sauce. But just give that little bit of flavor to it, just to say that I was working on it. Because like, yeah, you can give anybody a straight mix. Like you can go ahead and just, all right, technical mix. It's sonically, it's pleasing, but you didn't do anything
Yeah,
to it really. You didn't add any creativity. And I mean, they're just different hats. And
yeah,
so I got the opportunity to do that. And then also my son is on the album doing the skits.
yeah. That's his boy.
Dr. Feelgood. And then
Shouts
I got
out
to be in
Jaden.
the man. And then I got to play what is it, Doctor or Officer Dogood.
Officer Dogood.
Yeah, yeah. So it's
And
just
so
it was a
yeah,
fun. It
it
was
was
a
a
really
fun
fun
project.
thing to yeah. It was a really fun and meaningful project for me, even like just to be able to see the progression in the not only the story, but shit to bring this thing out to the world and like really be a part of it.
Yeah, and if I could just add in, I'll add what an engineer means to me as an artist. You know what I mean? Because I've had engineers that it's just a mix. You boom, you're good. It's sonic. And then I've been blessed with a couple engineers, and Chris being one of them, probably my most in depth and best engineer I've worked with because I will get addition 1.1, 1 through 1.9, 2.2 to 3.9, 3.3 through 3.9, you know what I mean? Until we get that perfect mix, the perfect spin, the perfect
Final,
drops,
final,
the
final,
perfect,
final,
you know
final.
what I
For real
mean?
this time,
Everything. And
final.
it's thorough. It's absolutely thorough. So when I listen to the song, I'm like, this is a hip hop song that I want to listen to.
Yeah.
With the drops, the old school vibe, the 90s boom bap feel, you know what I mean? That's people artists don't do that. Great engineers do that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Equal.
Yeah.
I say it's
Artists
equal
can,
between the producer,
I record my
because everybody
lyrics.
says producer. What do you call a producer? Let me ask you that.
For me, I would look at a producer as a beat maker.
Okay, that's the
See?
most conception. And a producer is a
Yeah.
beat maker. It's probably
Yeah.
that's one role in the project. Then there's the MC, the writer, the performer, the voice, and then there's the engineer, which is another producer because he's cutting that up. He's taking the original beat and making it so you hear that those stutters. That doesn't come on the beat. That's done by engineer work. And so when you
I
got a
mean,
phenomenal
yeah.
engineer, he's not only listening to your sound, your style, but he's adding his creative flair of how he hears it. So to work
Yeah.
with an engineer, to really be in the studio with your engineer vibing, there's no better feeling than it. That's how important that role is to me. You know what I
Well,
mean?
at that stage, you really have to have like you almost got to be reading each other's minds,
It
right?
is. It
And
is.
because it's one thing like you as an artist, say you're writing your track, you're putting your track, you have a vision for how you think it should sound, but now as
Mhm.
the engineer coming in, he's got to hear that vision and see that vision in sync with you as well.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you who said it best. Bob Weir from the Grateful Dead. If you know who the Grateful Dead is, and Bob Weir, he said, I'm not going to say when we were in there jamming with each other, man, we were in tune and synchrony, our music was, but man, we were in tune, man. And that's what it is. It's you're reading each other. Chris
Yeah.
is saying something. I'm like, that's a great idea. I'm like, no, let me. And he's like, yeah, push that, do this. I'm doing, and it's a back and forth, of back and forth. It's a chemistry. I've also, I've had great experiences with Chris. He's, like I said, one of my favorite engineers to work with. I worked with a guy named Jay Slug. We had the same dynamic energy, and we would bounce around the studio, and it was live, man. And that's the relationship you should have because three parts of a song: the beat, the MC, and the guy that mixes it down.
Yeah.
And that's who should be getting the credit on every song. You know what I mean? Because
So
they've
now
all put their flavor on it.
here's a two-part question for both of you.
Okay.
'Cause now I'm curious because it's very creative on both ends. So now as an MC, is it hard to find an engineer to sync with? And then as an engineer, is it hard to find an MC to sync with?
A great question. And I'm going to answer it. The synchronicity occurs when both parties are able to give up their ego and
Mhm.
formulate what I would say Voltron mindset, right? Where we're
Yes.
in not in my ego of who Teal Lestat is or his ego who Crackerican is on the boards and is it's a synchronicity between the two. And so, you know, it's hard to find that because both parties' minds need to be completely open to the music and the creative process. And with that, you can find them and you'll know instantly because the ego, you can feel ego when you walk in a room, right? And when it's like, yo, we're about to have a dope session, we're about to have a dope session. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And Teal Lestat dissipates and Cracker Rican dissipates and we become the music. And it's just I'm open to suggestions. I don't change my lyrics, but I'm open to how I say them, push them, come across, where we drop it, how we do this, because I don't know best, and I'm working with another creative, and so it's a blessing. And so yeah, to find the right one, you could take a little bit. You got to find that creative flow. It'll
I
come
mean,
intuitively.
I'm gonna say it from the other point of view, like, being a producer, being, a musician and artist myself, like, going having the background, and always wanting to be creative and so on. Like, I also run a business, I run a studio, and I've recorded things that I did not want to record, that's for sure. Um, it's, sometimes that's the case. I mean, it's much
Nature of the
less these
beast.
days. Yeah, now it's much less these days, but like you got to get through those the people that you may not mesh with, and you got to be professional and do what do what they hired you to do. But otherwise, like, when you enjoy it, when you get to enjoy a project, that's when it's, you're gonna encounter special things. Like, you're gonna
Yeah,
encounter, it's just like being in a band, like, because I'm of a instrument background, like being in bands and things. And so, when you get together and jam, like, that's the same feeling that you should have with your engineer, because they are,
Absolutely.
if they're creative. If they're not,
If
I
they're a
mean, there's
creative
plenty of
being.
technical. Yeah, there's plenty of technical mix engineers that you
Yeah,
said you wanted this. Okay, that's what's
there
happening.
it is.
They
There it
have
is. No
they have
sauce, no
zero
flavor,
creative
no
input.
meat.
Yeah, which isn't a
Yeah.
bad thing. If you're very strong in your creative vision, that's what you should stick to. But, like, if you're open and you're actually looking for a partner in this music
Dope
thing,
shit.
then pick the right one. Pick the right people.
Yeah, I
Otherwise,
agree.
you're gonna be fighting the whole time, and that like you're gonna be arguing about creative decisions. It's like, no matter
Yeah,
what, the artist is always gonna be the one
right.
that's,
Yeah, it's
they
gonna be
gotta,
yeah, but
yeah, it's their face on it. Like, yes, it's my
yeah,
Sonics, but yeah, you gotta live with it.
if it's
So
no
okay, if
good,
that's what you want.
absolutely. And Chris brings up a good point. I try to work with people that, are open to feedback along that nature, both on their end and on my end, because I'll turn a project over. Chris will tell you, I'm like, and I did it with Slugging, put you on it. Okay, here's Teal Lestat. Now put you on this joint. I want you to make you on this present. You know what I mean? Because it's going to do it and then that's why Chris sends 25, 30 folders of the track in different ways, because he's like, this is how I'm envisioning it. Which ones do you like? We could boom, and we'll go through a song sometimes 2, 3 weeks to mix a song down.
So we're working on
so
one
Chris,
right
what
now.
got you into engineering?
Honestly, I just watched the documentary today. It was Funky Monk's Red Hot Chili Peppers
Okay.
recording
Yeah,
Blood Sugar Sex Magic. And so I got
yeah,
to see,
great album.
one of my big inspirations, Rick Rubin, and, musical inspiration, Chili Peppers, just work together and see what it looked like. And, like, it looked like magic. I was already, playing music, like, with a band, so it's like, yo, that's what I want. That's what I want to do. And, nobody will give you a chance as a producer, like Rick Rubin style. Like, they're not just gonna give you creative control and be like, yeah, you know what you're talking about. So you got to go out and get that. Like, you got to go get that experience to be like, okay, I have something to actually input
Bring
into
to the
this.
table.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and
and
you'll
that's what I
know it.
strive to do.
Yeah, it's an ebb and flow. It's an ebb and flow between artist and engineer, because the relationship is a bond that, the initial track was the beat, and then you got your flavor on it, and then all of a sudden, okay, what can we do with this now? What can push this? What can make this sound to the best part? Because if you're an open-minded artist, you get to that point and you're like, all right, something else could be better. You should always be
Yeah.
pushing your sound to be better. So your initial vision of the song is like the initial words you wrote, right? There's a
Yeah.
word, then a series of them with a bar set, 16, a hook. It shouldn't stop once you get to the studio. That would be like a closed-minded approach. It's like, now what can we do with this, yo?
I
Shit,
think we
sometimes,
could
I
we
mean,
could sum it up like to the general population, people like myself. You could sum it up as in terms of like a director directing a movie.
You could,
I
because,
think it.
but I do think so, because especially if he's involved in the majority of the product, because we did all those skits and we went through dozens of takes, and Chris spent dozens of hours when I was asleep, because I went to his studio. We were there. I was there for a week recording this, a straight week. You know what I mean? And when I came back to Phoenix from him, he's like, "So here's what I was able to put together from what we did," and I was like, "Yo, this is fire." He even had the hidden track at the end with a freestyle he caught that I didn't even know he caught. I was like, "Keep that shit on there, bro." You know what I mean? And it became a project then. It wasn't just Todd Pitts or Tila Stat's concept of what this album is. Now this is a project, son. Where can we tweak it? How can we make this sound better, that more realistic? You know what I mean? It was such a dope process. And I'm still doing it again. We're doing it on another project right now with Fuck Off Me bonus edition. I got another project in the works with Rulers Inc., them boys, called The Shadow of the Crown is the tentative title. I got a project with another guy, my boy Casey Jones, you know what I mean? I got umpteenth albums already recorded, and I got 50 some tracks to get back in the studio and hit again. So like till the stat music is going to be consecutive and pushing, and it doesn't just stop at mental health. Everything's going to build a progression, a
Yeah.
storyline of my world.
Dude, you literally just heard the number one thing that I love about T.O. is the fact that he's like, all right, so I got how many albums already recorded and ready to go, and then I have 50 songs. As soon as like as soon as he can get out here, get back to the studio, it's like,
A
yo, all
rap.
right, Suicide Sessions
Oh
it
my
is.
god!
We
Another.
gonna go.
Here's the thing: when Chris and I are in the studio recording, I just spend a week there, and it's like nonstop, man. I'll get 25, 35 songs recorded, and then he plays with the mixes throughout the time. And okay, this one's going on this project. This one's with this project. This one fits this concept or theme, and then we just move. We move accordingly.
So I'm curious, and I ask a lot of artists this, because to me, when I sit back, I have a huge love and appreciation for all types of music. Um, Start to finish, how do you structure a song and
Okay.
the meaning behind it? Like, so how do you start formulating what you're gonna make the theme of that song about, to the lyrics, how you put it together, and the end
I come up with
result?
the final thought.
And
Okay,
then
yeah,
you when you're doing over, like, okay, you did one, now you got two, three, four, you got 50 tracks recorded. Like, how are you constantly
that's a good
making
question.
so
You
many
know,
different tracks that are so different from each other? Because it's fucking creative, you know?
How many you
yeah,
writing
one, it
there?
is.
How many's in your notebook right now? How many? Okay, so
Okay,
that's ready to record those now. How many you got in your notebook right now?
so I have, okay, this is the truth of the matter. I have 120 some songs recorded that fit different concepts and albums. I have 53 to record, and I have probably another 75, 80 I'm writing currently, maybe more.
It's
You know what I mean?
dude
And how
that
I do it, because this is this complete breakdown process. I get beats primarily from my guy Imminent Productions out of Griselda Movement. So shouts out to
yes.
Imminent Productions. He's been my ace boom bing in this whole from day zero. You know what I mean? And I gotta send a shout out to King Ralph because he put me on to Imminent. You know what I mean? And I get beats from Tony Sauce. I get beats from Cracker Rican. And when I hear a beat, you ask how I kind of come up with the concept. One, I write based on how I'm feeling. Whatever's in my head is what's coming out with my emotions, my thoughts. I freestyle a lot like that. But when I'm writing like that, the beat actually, I open a pack of beats. I might have 10 beats in there. I listen to them, I freestyle for them. Then I'm like, all right, four of them were just jammers. I grab those ones and I'll start listening to it. And the beat itself, honest to God, will tell me the words in which I'm going to say in that song. And
Okay.
so I will tune into the zone, the vibration, the frequency of the beat, and the words just come to me. And I don't know what it's going to be about when I first start writing it, but it all coherently flows together in a pattern throughout the entire song. You know what I mean? And that's really how it does it. The beat plays a large. I can write a lot without beats, but the beat pulls the words right out of me, man. And then Todd shuts down until the stat takes over, and it just comes together. And then I go back over it, comb through it 20, 30, 40 times, repeating it, singing it, getting down every drop, every place I want to hit heavy or slow down, and whatever I do with it. So by the time I go in the studio, I've already practiced it 150, 200 times. You know what I mean? And I'm already in the mix with it. It's just coming to me, you know what I mean? Because I know exactly how I wrote it to the beat.
That's
And
how
that's kind of
okay,
how
and
I write
speaking
a
of how
song.
you write to the beat. So with okay, so I've got a a pretty heavy musical background. Like I got my I got my certifications in Pro Tools in 2008. So I've been doing it for a minute. And like watching I've seen all types of people record. He came in the first time for the first session. It's you got 5 days. Just go as much as you can get done. Let's get it done.
We
And
bang them.
dude just kept going. But the first time he went in there, I had no idea what he was doing. When he went through his verse, I'm like, dope, got it. It's not the same cadence as other musicians because
Yeah.
he's not listening to the beat. I don't know very many rappers that don't listen to the beat. It's like the drums
No, I
themselves.
write. I
and
surf
ride
the
to that.
pockets in and out. I'm surfing the pockets, so the trumpet, the horn, the inners and then I pop out, jump off the beat, jump back in it, ride it, jump out, jump, and I'm back and forth, in and out of the pocket.
And that's where it's like that's not with a non-musical background, like a non-technically musical background, like seeing the
I don't
ingenuity
have
that comes out
none.
of it. When he when he got in there and to do the ad libs, like I had my headphones off for a second right before he started. Like we already tested everything, and I just heard the ad libs dry with no beat, no anything, and I'm like in the real world here, and I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? That don't even make sense. Like
And
what
then
the
put them
fuck?
earphones on.
Yeah, yeah, I let him go through the whole entire thing because I'm like, bro, I didn't believe it. Because it sounded like I didn't think how that could fit to the because I've
Rack.
heard tons of ad libs. Come on now, but like, okay, let's see what it is. So when I put them headphones on the second time and he was running through the second run, this motherfucker's a sick genius. He must be what kind of what kind of mental illness do you got? Because I want some.
And ad libs to me are some of the funnest parts because I truly ad lib them. I'll go in there, I'll spit the verse. I don't, I'm not looking at the song again. I'm listening to it. And I'm like, and I'll add in what I want to add in as a real ad lib. You know what I mean? I'm not repeating the word. I'm bringing something else context wise out of my verse, out of that bar, almost to pull the listener in and say, wait, what's he saying behind it? And damn, how does it's playing in with what he just said? Wait, what did
Yeah.
he just say? You know what I mean? And so each layer plays a role. And I love ad libs because I can just go ham. I
it
go
didn't
ham in a
it didn't
I
help
like
that the
that.
one we were working on was mental health, which he had to do a lot of like I call it lament. That shit sounds like straight like the ad libs are you can feel the emotionality and it's super
Yeah.
fun, it's super dark. It's like, all right, man. All right, we I guess it's what we were doing. But when you listen to it in context, it's just it all works.
I
And
like
I
that
as an
you,
appreciate that.
engineer, cut it.
yeah, I like that you touched on that because I think, the majority of the people out there, they're used to music sounding a certain way, right? They're
Yeah.
they're used to a certain flow, cadence, and when somebody breaks the mold, it's confusing.
Yep.
Sure, it's a glitch in the matrix.
Yep. But
Exactly.
then it becomes the norm, right? Like because that thing that's standing out, it's like, huh, that's interesting. Because right now, like, okay, just think about I'm 40 years old, so like I remember uh originality was the key. Like I don't know when
Hmm.
Yeah.
that stopped.
You
Like
didn't bite
originality
nobody's
was
style when I was a kid.
right.
Could bite someone's
You gonna get
style. You'd
fucked
be
up for that shit.
ostracized. You'd be ostracized from hip hop if you was
Yes,
biting styles. This
absolutely.
was a big
And th
no-no.
You want to
go
know
ahead
when
and
it
spit somebody
stopped?
else's. Huh?
You want to know when it stopped? In my honest
Yes.
opinion, when
Yeah.
hip hop became Hollywoodized.
Hip hop, I call it. Hip
Hmm.
hop because it's
Yeah.
pop music.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
but
not, it's rap
what
music.
let's get a
Commercialized.
date on there. Like, yeah, but the commercialized, I mean, you're
I'll
looking
tell
at
you
what?
when, 99.
Tupac? I
99,
mean, you're
right
looking at
before the turn
Tupac
of the
though. He
century.
was Tupac Friday, they was mega hits. So like that's like 91, 92.
Yeah.
No,
Like
Tupac's early shit
that
was
early?
91, 92. That was more like 94. But really hip hop started to do a decline during, I'm just gonna say the Nelly era of hip hop. That style, that Band-Aid rap, that almost, because you could think about of a lot of hip hop groups from that era that were on the hard edge, but turning that way. Crucial Conflict,
Yep.
even Do or Die, who's a phenomenal group, don't get me wrong, but the harmonizing Bone, you start to see the transition over from the pop scene. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you're from
Yeah.
that era, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
It became it, it became all about the money, and that was
Yep,
it.
less on originality because
Yeah.
well, that got a hit record. I'm gonna do the same thing. And when people started to say I'm gonna do the same thing as someone else, you're not tapping into your own creative force, and that's what I thrive myself on. My music is not for everybody, yo. I'm a hardcore boom bap, kind of even definitely dark flow. I wouldn't call it horrorcore, but surfing the cusp
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
reality rap. What I mean, street hip hop. You know what I mean, but
And still
conscious hip
conscious
hop as
rap too.
well. Conscious hip hop as well. I'm not talking shit. I'm not talking about selling drugs and fucking pimping girls and on the block doing. I'm talking real life shit.
I don't know. I've
You know what I
heard
mean?
some of
Shit.
them lines. I've heard some lines in there. I'm positive I've heard some.
No, not on my flows. You never hear me talk about capping people or selling drugs. I'm talking
No.
about using drugs, buying drugs.
and fucking bitches.
Bitches,
So
having
like,
sex with bitches, yeah, but not pimping bitches or like making
right,
money
right,
off
okay,
of
fair, fair,
them
fair,
or
fair, fair, fair. I mean,
yeah, you know what I mean? I'm just talking
that's the
about
one thing I
spending my
could
own
say.
money on bitches.
So your originality comes from your actual experience, and you speak from a
From the
place of,
soul.
yeah, like you're just telling it how it is, and that's what I really appreciated from the very beginning. Because anybody that can deal with reality and the reality in hip hop, it's different than people that just listen to the radio to just tap their thumb on the fucking steering wheel or some shit. Like I'm I love music. Number one, before I'm an engineer, before I'm a platform owner, before I'm anything, an artist, I'm a fan. Like I love music, like every type, almost,
Me
almost every
too.
type.
I like almost every type of rock and roll. I quoted the Grateful Dead. It's one of my favorite bands. I listen to sometimes more Grateful Dead than I do modern hip hop, unless I'm bumping old Smith and Wesson or Boot Camp or old Twista, Adrenaline Rush era. Real hip hop, Capone and Noriega's old stuff. That
Yeah.
if I'm not
But
bumping
there's,
that, I'm bumping rock and roll, man,
dude,
because I
I'll
love
tell.
music. I'm bumping jazz, freelance jazz. I'm bumping,
I'm saying,
meditation music. I'm all over the board with
what's
music
the most
because music
surprising?
is
What's the most surprising thing that let's see? What's the most surprising thing that you listen to? Like, what's the most surprising artist that people would be like, what the
I
fuck, for real?
listen to the Talking Heads. I love the Talking Heads. I listen to
Those are cool.
Fish, the band Fish with PH, Trey Anastasio, the jam band. I listen to all the way down to the Fat Boys. You know what I'm saying? Oh God, bro, and early Houdini and Digital Underground, and that's what I'm bumping in my earbuds. Old Compton's Most Wanted, old
Yeah, yeah.
East Coast
Dude,
Boom
all that.
Bap, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
But yours becomes that's almost
All the way to the
it's not
Doors
that
and the Rolling
surprising.
Stones.
It's not even that
The Doors,
surprising.
yeah.
Like you ain't say nothing. Like you wouldn't like I like in sync. I'm sorry.
I
Like
was
No,
waiting
I
for
don't.
something like that.
No,
yeah, I'm
I don't.
looking for
But here's
you.
the
There's got to
thing.
be something. I got
Here's the
tons. I got
thing.
daughters, so I got tons of stuff. I could be like, I gotta pull out what's her name?
I like
Uh,
old Justin Bieber stuff. I like
where?
old Justin. Yeah, I like old what's his name from? Not in sync
Justin
with the other
Justin
boy band,
yeah,
Justin
Justin Timberlake.
Timberlake.
No,
You know what I
his
mean?
shit's
Yeah,
good. I
his
have
old
no
shit is
shame in that.
especially fresh. You know what I mean?
But you
But
saw
MC
Talent is
Hammer,
talent, like talent is talent regardless of the genre, right?
yeah,
And
Mac,
absolutely. Get in
as
their
an
bag
artist, you have
and
to
they're
be
doing
able
a
to
creative thing.
identify talent. Um,
Yep.
but speaking of, you guys said, I like all music, well, most of it. So I'm gonna put you on the spot. What don't you like?
I'm not really a big fan of country music. I do like old
love
country,
country.
rock and roll style, almost country. I mess with that now. I didn't used to though, but I don't like modern country. I don't like pop music. I do not like R&B. I don't like
Love some R&B. Love
that's
all
about
of
it
it.
because I like electronic music because of the drum and bass and that's cool. I like rock and roll and hip hop.
What about so are lyrics important? Like do you think that the lyrics are
Depends on the
important or
genre.
the music?
No,
Word?
because the music can, nothing like a free jazz album like Sun Ra or something where it's just like, it's noise and it's music and it's like this guy is expressing himself. He's in his own personal lane, his own personal bag, and it's dope. You know what I mean? No one else did this or is doing this.
What about you? What about you? What's your you know, most surprising artist you think people wouldn't suspect that you listen to?
Um, Honestly, probably I'm gonna go with probably something like Soulfly or
Oh yes.
yeah,
Max is the shit.
yeah, I like Soulfly, that tribal. Like I like some of the metal, not the crazy
Like
like
banger ball metal. Yeah, I don't
I
like
like that
yeah,
shit too.
screamo.
I like that shit too
so
though.
I could do Soulfly, I could do some old Slayer, Pantera.
Okay.
Pantera, yes, all day. All day.
Yeah,
Um,
Pantera for
that's
sure.
about as extreme as it would get.
Most 80s hair bands, let's be realistic. I'm an 80s baby, so I grew up to Guns N' Roses, Poison,
Hmm.
Warrant, Motley Crue. I still bump all that. Van Halen, Aerosmith, Zeppelin, all that. I bump all that
Yes.
music. That's good
See,
music to
you
me.
said out of all that, one of those artists I listen to. Otherwise, not one. I'll do Zeppelin any day, but like most of the other
I
ones,
like
not
80s
at
hair
all.
band. I
Yeah, I
like
couldn't
80s
do
hair
it.
music.
Poison,
Yeah,
Rat, all
I'm
them.
from
I
that
listen to
era.
it all. I listen to it all just to see, I'll try anything twice and see if
Yeah.
see if it's good. But like, nah, like I didn't feel none of those bands. But You got
I'm from the
diversity,
days
I
though
think.
where I sat in front of my grandma's TV eating egg and toast, one of them poached eggs with toast
Yeah.
dipping, MTV listening to, 80s hair band because I'm born 81, you know what I mean? So 84, 85, that's what was on television
So
when we were watching
what's
music
what's
television.
what's your take on this modern day country that's kind of walking the line of hip hop
Hip
country?
hop, I can't stand it, but that's just me. I'm never gonna hate on any of those artists. They're all in their own personal bag. Do your
Yeah.
creative thing. Do what you feel your juices are telling you to do. Me personally, my own preference, no, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of
No,
it at all.
not even a little bit. Like
No.
I actually love country. I love country. I'm good with it. I was raised on country. I didn't That's why I listen to all the different types of music, is because I didn't know any other music existed until I was like 6. I was like 6 years old, hadn't heard any other music other than country because that's what my mom listened to. But then somebody put on the Eagles came on a radio and I was like, "Hey, what is that?
Yeah.
What is
What's
that?"
that noise?
And
That sounds
yeah,
good in my
and like
ears.
I I'm sitting there shutting up the babysitter going, "Hey, hold on, I gotta hear this." So after I heard that, I was like, "There's other shit out there," and
Yeah.
I've just constantly been on the search since then. Just like I go through
Yeah,
new
good
music
music
like
is good
crazy.
music. Good music, any genre. You can get a one off and be like, damn, that's a fire song. You know what I mean?
But
It's got a great melody, it's got
I,
good cadence, it's got good
I don't
flow.
like country. I don't like hip hop.
No,
I don't fucks
I
with
don't
it.
like country. I don't like country hip hop
What
at
what did you
all.
call it? Hick hop?
Yeah,
Hip hop.
yeah, hip hop. It's not my jam. I mean, there was even a dude like it's kind of crazy. If you're out there, you can get your money back at some point. Hit it with the complaints department. This dude, he came through to do uh he came through to do an album. So he came, we sat and talked about it, and he gave me like 3,000 bucks, paid it up front to do the album, and I was like, I even told him, I'm not the person to do your album. Like, I don't have any creative anything to add to what you got going. And he's like, nope, I'm positive. All right, cool. So he paid me the money. I never saw him again. Like, this has been a year and a half now. Didn't see him again. I'm like, I mean, I kept it for 90 days even. And I was like, all right, I got a movie to make. Let's go. Um, so it got absorbed into the budget. But the point being there is like if I wasn't being paid, there's no way you could get me to do a country hip hop album. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah,
I've heard
not a
some
fan.
good I've heard some good beats, but always the voice always just fucks me up. It's just like
Yeah.
the accents. And because I know that the thing is that they're capitalizing on the next waves. Like so when hip hop 2 years
Yeah.
ago, hip hop fell by 22% in the total listening output in the pie chart. And so like they had to figure out, okay, well, something's gonna take in that place. It was country and reggaeton. So
Yeah.
like those two right there just kind of filled the place because EDM is gonna always be the
Have
top
it seen,
because
absolutely.
it's so it doesn't have lyrics,
Versatility. Yeah, it's such a
but
versatile.
but no, I was gonna say like to see where um
The wave is going. Yeah.
yeah, like I mean it really I mean having it's country and the reggaeton and all they're doing is moving it over like even reggae like we were part with Eli out of Ashley LaRue reggae band. So we were working on reggae country. That was the next wave. There was actually contracts out for looking for Universal and Warner were both looking for that specific type of act. Now, the only reason that would be the case is if they knew something or they were acting on something and they saw this wave happening. Jelly Roll, brought that in um
Yeah.
most
Now
popular
there's a
and
there's a market base. There's a market base, and
yeah,
so they're going to exploit it. That's what they do. That's what they do to music,
literally.
unfortunately, and always have. This is
And it's
what
all
waters
watered
down
down.
sometimes the creative process. See, and this is why I stand on my music. I'm independent. I do my own thing. If you don't like it, turn the fucking channel.
It ain't
Pretty
that hard.
much, yeah.
It ain't that
Yep.
hard. Like no
I'm
matter
not prescribing to the method. I'm doing my own thing.
no matter what you do, there's somebody out there that fucks with your niche. Like, I'm sitting here, RFS is over here actually. Like,
All right,
he's
Seb, what up?
I call him the Bob Dylan of rap because like he's got the most original voice I've ever heard in hip hop. And it's like, all right, that's fine. I fucks with it. It's not
Yeah,
everyday shit. It's him just
dope
expressing
artist.
his do it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
RSF
Like
is a dope artist.
you just gotta all it is really just looking at I mean, I'm sure who's your favorite? Like, do you have favorites? Because a lot of people
In
can't answer that
terms
question. It's hard. Of
and
artists.
Definitely. My top would be Mobb Deep, Prodigy.
Yeah, of course.
Um,
Heavy.
Prodigy was ahead of his time. I still think his lyrics go over a lot of people's heads.
Absolutely do. All of Mobb Deep, though, especially the early Hell on Earth,
Hmm.
Yeah,
through Murder
Yeah.
Music. They
like
all had deep meaning.
I grew up listening to Mobb Deep, Infamous Mob, which was an honor to be able to
Lord,
have those guys on the podcast as well, and it was great to be able to sit down with them and do our thing. And
Spider
um,
Man. That's
yeah,
legendary right there.
yeah,
Hmm.
and Capone and Noriega, Wu-Tang. I'm a huge hip hop head.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, the list goes on and on and on of great
sure,
artists
sure.
that came out of the
The Roots.
90s.
The Roots is
Yeah,
my favorite band. Black Thought from the Roots is probably number one MC in my book.
yeah, Mos Def. It was
Most Deaths, I Live, that whole movement. Yeah, I mean, hip hop back
Black
in the
Star. Black
'90s
Star.
was hip hop.
yeah,
Yeah, see, and that's the type of hip hop I'm trying to produce, but today's era, me, influenced by me. I don't borrow from one artist. I listen to all of that, what you're speaking. I had all the tape cassettes. I mean, me and my brothers were nuts, man. You know what I mean? And and I've been writing since I was in third or fourth grade, and
yeah,
freestyling off the dome and, and I do a lot of both. And so I live and breathe it because it's truly the creative outlet that allows me to be me and I'm accepted in the community, you know what I mean? Amongst a lot of underground artists. Shouts out
yeah.
to my boy Lefty Pacino. Shouts out DJ Mikey G. These are real people out there that are doing
Yep.
their thing, and they acknowledge me as a dope MC. And it's like, man, I'm getting the, you know what I mean? This is an honor to me for any MC that I consider dope. Merge the MC, Streets to Villain, Brooklyn Bad Seed. These are all dope MCs in the underground
Yep.
world, right? And they're like, yeah, you got a good flow, Tio. I fuck with it. You know what I mean? And that means a lot to me, man. So
Well,
shouts out Lefty Pacino and DJ Mikey G. You're my
Lefty's really
guys.
breaking the mold in terms of at the age that he got into hip hop,
Man, I
and
love him. Left
you
is
know,
that dude, bro,
going
for
back
You
to my
read
real.
my
favorite
mind.
artists, I listen to Lefty on a fucking daily. There's another guy out
Oh,
of Toronto, AO Biggs. Listen to him on a daily.
yeah,
Um,
Left is the dude. The track him and I got together, that
I heard
Crystal
him.
Clear, is absolutely bananas. And Cracker Regan did that engineer work on there.
Yeah, that I really like that album. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, when you get to touch this industry, like when you're actually like when you're a part of it, you're accepted because it's just I mean, you could say real recognize real, but it's really just a matter of like genuine
Creatives
genuine
recognizing
people.
creatives and
Yeah, well,
appreciating
just
it.
genuine people, like genuine people, because
yes.
like
Yep.
I that's all I've met is like, and that's all that stuck around anyway. You know what I'm saying? Is the ones that are really about it, because like you gotta love this. If you don't love this, then you don't get the spoils, because like everybody they
Yeah,
see the success. That's the only thing that anybody sees, whether it's a business or it's emceeing. Like the only thing
anything.
people see
Yeah,
is the
they don't know
success.
all
They
the
don't
work.
see,
They don't see all
yeah,
the countless hours I put in shooting all that video you see on my
Yeah.
Instagram. I shoot all that video on my own videographer, my own video editor, and mixer in the videos. I do all that from scratch. Nobody does that for me. All my marketing, promotion, cooking with DJs. The only thing I don't do is engineer the track. Everything else I pretty much do myself.
Well, you know what's happening with hip hop right now, and I'll sum it up the way I had Prodigy's sister Loretta on the podcast probably almost a year ago, and she pretty much summed it up in terms of hip hop was um everybody was being fed the junk food, and now everyone's starting to crave that meat and potatoes again. You
Yeah,
want that
exactly. We're
protein,
boom
that
bap. That's the soul of
and
it
that's
all.
what's coming full circle again, and that watered down, sugar coated shit is starting
Yeah,
to find its way
fizzle
out.
out as it should.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
it
always
can't be
going to be
called hip
commercial.
hop. I
There's
heard
always going to be
Raekwon say
commercial
once on an
music.
interview, you can't even call that stuff hip hop. It's not. It's got to be in its own genre
Yeah.
because those charts don't represent real hip hop, real
No.
MCs, people that do it for the passion of the music. The money is secondary. They're really putting their thoughts or feelings, emotion into it, and they live, breathe, eat it. It's most of these real MCs, real life.
You
Yeah.
better love it. That's what I'm talking about. You better love it because
You gotta love it. You gotta be it.
the grind is real as fuck. And like, if you're not willing to forego, or maybe you don't have the actual time that it takes to be a part of it, then cool.
Talent.
Just be a hobbyist.
Yeah.
Just be a
Well, the
hobbyist,
creative
and it's
aspect is the
fine.
number one
Like,
thing. But you got to have the
dude,
people skills, you got to have the ability to network. You cannot do it alone. Even though I say I'm doing it all by myself, I'm not because I have people
no,
sharing my reels that really fuck with me. And they're a part of the process too. This interview, these are all parts of the process for everybody involved in it. It's
Yeah.
like building a network, and that's just, you're building. I'm building with a lot of people, a lot of DJs, a lot of radio personnel, a lot of interviewers, shows, everything, man. Magazine
Marketer,
people, producers,
marketer,
marketers,
editor. Like,
everybody, man. And
how many
so,
jobs does an independent artist have? Now, the thing is that even though everybody has the label independent artist, this is an independent artist, they're independent. There are people, they have teams. They're not just doing it. It's not just one man in a room just doing all these things. If they get to a certain
you know,
level, it's literally not possible.
Yeah.
it's
But
not possible.
they all keep that label as long as possible. Independent. I'm independent. Yes, you work outside that, but I bet you your distribution was through a major. Like if you did in the, I
I'm
bet like
distributing through Ditto, you know what I mean, and
I
pushing my
see. I
stuff into
like
sync
Ditto. I do
licenses
like.
and putting my stuff all over the place, commercials, movies, video games. I'm pushing my music by myself, you know what I mean, in a sense like that. But I got a good engineer. I got people that I can bounce ideas off. I got other producers that I work with. You know, and I say producer with beat makers, engineers, studio
Yeah.
people, mastering producers. I got other MCs that I feed with and build with, and I'm not just stagnant on my socials. Like the people that you see me on tracks with or I build with, we're really building on the inside too. You know, it's not just sharing your post. We talk to each other. We pop up in similar interview circles and mixtapes and you start to build that network with those type of people and you start to recognize each other's name and then you're like, let's work,
Heist
let's do
Club.
this. And that's the best part about it.
Do
You
you
know what I
think
mean? Getting
that
to working with all the other people.
with the modern
That's how I
day
met
social
Left.
media, it's become a lot easier to network and find people of genuine nature to work with?
Yes.
It's easier to network because you have access to a larger population, but it's hard to network because there's a lot of scams. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
bullshit. You
Mm-hmm.
got to be a networking type individual. That's a business mindset. Not everybody has that. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And so you got to have the ability to work with people. And so if you have that, yes, the internet can be, and social medias particularly, can be a great place where you start building with people because if you can sift out through and say, okay, this guy's serious, he doesn't, this is a combination, and you build on that, then you can do it. But not everybody can, man. It takes a certain
Yeah.
mindset.
Take time to learn the tools. That's what that is.
Yeah,
Social
because
media is
there's
another
the
tool.
music aspect where I'm Teal Lestat, the artist, but then there's Teal Lestat music, which is the business aspect, which is,
Yeah.
Yep.
Max Osama put me onto it, Chris put me onto it, and have schooled me a little bit, and a couple other people. I follow this Tiffany Gaines, and she has a lot of good
Mhm.
insight, and you know what I mean? So I do a lot on my own, but I also listen to people that give advice because I know I can't do it by myself. It's not possible. Nobody can. It's just a tremendous amount of work.
Yeah.
Plus, I work a full-time job and, I'm trying to get myself, my own mental health right. And, life is life.
I'm gonna
So you got to
touch
have the
on that.
drive.
I'm gonna touch on that full-time job in a second, but we're about to wrap it up on the block right now. For everybody listening, you can go and check out the video version and extended version of this episode on YouTube tomorrow. Cigar Talk underscore Toronto. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Head over to Instagram. Check out T.O. Lestat, T.O. underscore Lestat on Instagram. Check out Chris York, Shadowworks Entertainment on Instagram. And make sure you tune in every Friday, 9 a.m. My guy, DJ Mikey G, has the Wake Up
DJ
Mix.
Mikey G.
So big
Fire.
shout out to DJ Mikey G with the Wake Up
Yeah.
Mix. You got to check it out, man.
Forget
And
about it. You know what I mean? You better tune in. The morning show is fire, man.
it is. All his shows are dope, man. I try as best as I can to
DJ
tune
Mikey
into
G's
all of
that
them.
dude.
And it's become a family event. Me and my son and my wife, we sit down, we smoke a cigar, we listen to his shows, and
Yeah.
it's been great because I can show my son a lot of the music that, we grew up on
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
influence that boom bap era into him. But on that
Absolutely.
note, we're about to cut out on the block and Lefty Pacino, DJ Mikey G, they got our theme song Cigar Talk, and they're gonna take us out of here with that. On that note, we're out.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace. Yeah,
Um,
so DJ Mikey G, I'll just throw in there. I've had a couple of DJs that really have believed in me, and DJ Mikey G is one of them DJs. He has played numerous of my songs. He makes reels with my music playing in it.
Demo
He
party.
is somebody I have a lot of because he reminds me of the old Green Lanterns, the old K Slays, the
Wonderful.
old Ron
Yeah.
G mixes. You know what I mean? DJ Mikey G is on that. Everyone from straight from the underground. Chris, all them guys are. I build with so many DJs, Fire Chick to Tony
Fire chick
Slaps
solid.
to Indie Nation to
Twin
it's a
City.
process that you got to put yourself in. You don't just submit your music. You got DJ Ant at podcast, Sixth Floor. These are all people I'm building with, right? And I'm on their page, liking their stuff, sharing their stuff, commenting. That's the type of stuff you got to do with DJs because they appreciate the love too as much as I do as MC. They're just as an integral part of the process of the scene, if not more important, right? They break records.
It's
So
I miss
shouts
I
out to
miss those
Mikey
days,
G,
man.
straight
I
from the
miss those
underground.
days of the DJ Green Lantern, the Big Mike,
yeah.
and the J Love,
Oh,
and
I want to do an
The
album like that. So it's just any DJ, if it's whatever, and just do a whole album to Lestat. You know what I mean? I was talking with DJ King Flow about it out of Mixtape Addicts. He's another one that's real dope. You know what I mean? We were been talking about doing a mixtape which is all Tila Stat tracks, and he puts a whole mixtape out because I've been on a couple of his joints.
So that's the thing. Like this, all the skills that it takes, the networking that it takes, man, that shit it is so. And the time, like you said, the 40 hours. So I haven't worked for another anybody but myself for the past 10 years. Like as soon as we decided to do it, it was like, all right, cool. I wasn't doing music at the time. I had to build my studio from the scratch. Like there was nothing here
Round up, yeah.
beforehand, like literally from the dirt. Because during COVID, fucking, it was, everybody's having a bad time. I was having a great time. Like I got to be with my family more than I ever have, and
yeah.
like every day was beautiful. Nothing's happening in the house, so like go outside, have fun, have a schedule. But the only thing I needed was the studio, because like I was like the studio and the gym. If I build those, shit, we could get locked here forever. People realized that their gilded cages was, like they didn't like the place they live. Like they didn't like the cage they built for themselves, and that's why alcohol went up. Alcohol intake, suicide, domestic abuse, drug abuse,
Drug
like
use.
it
Yeah.
all went out,
That's a
and
plague of
crazy spending.
that's a plague of being in the system, a peg in the system. You know what I mean?
I don't know
And
when all that shit happened, we got locked down. I went out and bought a shit ton of guns. So
Yeah.
I already had them.
that,
I
I
had a
already
ton
had
of guns, man.
them.
I
well,
had a
you're in
ton of
Florida. You're in
guns,
Florida, right? So that's
Yeah.
that's one of the best states to be in.
Yeah,
Yes
absolutely.
and no. Yes and no.
That or
It's got
Arizona.
its
Hmm.
yo. The problem with Florida though, I'll tell everybody the same thing. Like the government here is not good. They're literally trying to stop us from being able to grow our own food here. They've already passed a bunch of like just what I would consider to be like just they can label us terrorists at any time. It's essentially what it is. Like
Yeah.
they ask for their own
Anywhere
funding.
100
It's
miles on the
like,
border can
dude.
do that.
Then we got
Yeah.
the problem with our data centers. We have 155 data centers in this state now.
Same with Arizona.
We're going through a crazy drought. Cannot even suffice naturally, and they go
Same
through
here.
anywhere between 1 and 5 million gallons of water a day each one of those
Water.
facilities. That's
Meanwhile, we're starving
155
thirsty
million
in the
gallons.
desert.
They're like, hey, you guys really you can only wash your car once a month, and you can only do your lawn once a week.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's
but
Arizona's the
they
same way,
you
man.
see what the fuck they're doing? The fancy Google?
We
Because
got
that
people
you're
we
telling me
got
they
people
need
out
all
here
that
thirsty
compute.
and they're wasting the water on data centers.
You want
So
to
All
it's
see?
just like
Get
yeah,
the
it's a
fuck
control
out.
system.
all I
It's a
can say to
control
that
system.
is pay attention to what goes on in Canada, and you're gonna see what they're
Similar
gonna try
stuff.
to do to you guys in the future.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's absolutely. I
Australia
look at
too.
Australia.
Well,
That's how I measure it. Canada, the UK, and
In
Australia.
well,
America.
Australia and UK, it happens there first, and then it comes to Canada.
Yeah.
Australia is
Trickle
probably
down.
about a good 10 years ahead of us and the UK. They're just now starting to have police show up to people's doors because of things they say online.
Yeah,
That's
it's
terrible. That's an
we've had it
abomination of
here.
those aren't even the Bill of Rights. That's a God-given right. Freedom
Like,
to express yourself.
yeah, I mean and it's what is it? The quote when you can appreciate that you don't have to agree with somebody. The only time anybody bitches about it is when they don't agree with that person. So it's like if you could say that anybody can say anything, okay, like then it's good. That's freedom of expression. That's a
You
hard thing
know,
to agree with.
you know, it's a scary time
It is a scary time.
is they've passed a few bills here where the government can essentially determine what you are saying is hate speech or not. So essentially, if they determine they don't like what you just said,
Ban
now
you.
that's now hate speech, and they can come knock on your door, lock you up because you hurt their
That's a
feelings.
that's a gross
Yeah,
violation of human rights.
Yeah.
easily.
That's why I have the
The
whole album. I told you earlier that T.O.
yeah,
Lestat, Truth Over Lies, the Establishment Always Tells. That's an album dropping hopefully around next campaign season. You know what I mean? Because people need to be aware of this, just like the mental health. My three platforms I stand on is mental health, father's rights and alienation, and literacy in the cities. And I say
Yeah.
literacy not in the sense of just reading, but being able to process the information because that's what they're taking. Well, I was a public school teacher for 20 years, inner city Buffalo out to inner city Phoenix. And so it's just that's a discipline being taken away. They don't really want you reading and writing and thinking. And so this is three pillars I stand on. This has to be essential because Armed and Educated is my record label, right? My entertainment, the Armed and Educated. And it's not just a gun, it's arming yourself with knowledge of self,
Yep.
knowledge of law, knowledge of your rights as a human being. And that's what Armed and Educated stands for.
yeah,
So
no, so you got a bunch of I didn't know y'all had loose gun laws like that. Like so y'all can get guns too though?
um they just pretty much fucking banned everything.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
that's
Well,
what they
yeah,
want to do.
y'all had a
As
crazy
soon as
Yeah.
they
ban.
ban
Like
the AR
y'all like
platform, that
literally
bans every
all
gun.
guns, right?
They banned all the AR platforms
Yeah, that's every single gun.
probably
People don't realize that's every handgun in the world is
probably about
AR.
five no, probably like 7-ish years ago they banned the AR platforms, and that was supposed to be it, right? Then they took it a
Never
step
is.
further and they started going with the military assault style, which fucking
Get the fuck out of here.
go figure, right? Now
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
they've essentially taken anything center fire mag fed, banned it.
Here, I'll tell you why. Because people don't realize the AR
What?
is not assault rifle. It's the type of rifle it is, and it goes from
Armalite.
Yeah.
Armalite, and that just means that the gas pressure from the firearm expends the round, traps itself in, pushes the next round up, and it's ready to shoot. That is an
But
Armalite, right?
this
That
is
is
what they
every
do.
handgun.
They
Yeah,
lie to the
that's every
general,
handgun.
so they lie to the general public about what things mean. They eat it
Generic
up.
term, yeah,
So now
misinformation.
what they're doing is they're saying, well, we need to reduce the gun violence in the streets. So they're
Mhm.
banning all these legal firearms. Well,
Yep,
legal
they did
firearm
it in
owners
New
are
York
not the
too.
problem. 90% of the guns that are illegal in
And
Canada come
crimes are
from the
illegal.
United
Yeah,
States.
they're
Of
illegal.
course.
They're,
Of course.
yeah,
We
they're
have
illegal guns. They're not legally coming in.
they're what do we got? We got like
Ban anything you want.
three and a half guns per American is what our rate is here. It's like that's craziness. That means a lot of us have a lot of guns. Um because I don't think the other part of the population is gonna have it, like a grade
Now
school
there's a whole
kids.
gang of population that are
Ah,
totally anti-gun and give up your gun. All AR platforms. They don't realize that the pistol that they use
fight
because they're
back.
scared, just the one that's sitting in their house, will become illegal, and you will now become a criminal.
Yep.
And that's
And
the problem, the ignorance of, well, it doesn't affect me. And
yeah,
honestly, this goes across the board with every
yes.
fucking cause, right? Well, it
Yes.
doesn't affect me, so why should I care?
Privacy.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Well, one
The
day this
non-caring
issue that other
attitude.
people are fighting for will affect you because
Yep.
once they restrict them, they're coming for you too.
Right. See, that is what you're screaming out. Because like I said, I was a social studies teacher for 20 years. That is the definition of liberalism. And liberalism means because this passed, that can pass, because that passed, that can pass, and because that passed, that can pass, because you can't go back now. Once you've passed something, you're in
Yep.
it. You're done with it. Once you put support behind it, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? And so liberalism is the enemy of the man because it takes and allows government plateaus to push whatever they want because they can just, like I said, 85% of the world is dumb, deaf, and blind. So they'll do what they're told, when they're told, how they're told, by whom they're told, whenever they're told. And they just don't think about it. They'll do it. They're told it. That's it. Done. I got to do it. They said to. And
Yeah.
so,
It's
that is an
my
easy
son is
agenda
that
to
cat.
pass. Laws are easy to pass. They slip them right in under night in the middle of long bullshit
Patriot
contracts.
Act. Go with the
Yeah.
Patriot Act. I mean, the
Yep.
Patriot Act
Terrible.
alone, like it changes everything. Even though it did it was existing prior to that, like just under new names. Like,
Yeah, it
but
was,
all it
the
is a slow
Patriot. You're
process.
right.
It's a slow
The
process. You
Patriot Act
take it
did
whatever you
exist.
can. Yeah, it
The
did.
Patriot
It
Act did
actually from the
exist. It was called the
Nixon.
Reichstag Act. Hitler implemented it in Germany. Called the Reichstag Act after the Reichstag building was bombed. That's a fact.
That's
Language almost verbatim.
oh word.
Well, you want to know where it all
Yes,
starts? It all starts in the school system. They're
100%.
creating
School is the
people
pipeline to
that
prison and the pipeline to dumbing you down.
they can't read, and what they're reading, they can't comprehend it.
Correct. That's the system.
And
That's not by fault. That's by design. I was a teacher
exactly.
for 20 years. The
Look
reason
at
I left was,
iodine.
I
Look at the
stopped grading
iodine.
papers. I graded papers for 5 years, and then I completely threw people's papers away and just gave kids grades, grades based on how they interacted and participated, because I could fail a kid and he'd still go on to the next grade. How
Yep.
do you
Yep.
fail 5 subjects out of 5 subjects and go on from the
No
seventh to the eighth
kid
grade and the
left
ninth to the,
behind.
you know what I mean?
No
It's
kid
like,
left
so
behind.
you
They
don't
might be
grade
left
when
a
you,
little bit retarded.
and I was one of those teachers, and all of my students will back this and verify it. I wasn't a history textbook teacher. I was a people person, and I taught students. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And I really worked with inner city Buffalo kids and made differences in kids' lives. And that's something I can stand on and be proud of, because I loved teaching. That was my life. You know what I mean? This is the foundation of who Lestst is. Todd Pitts, MED. You know what I mean? I'm no dummy on the backside of things either. So my
Well, see,
wordplay reflects that.
what
that's
would
what,
you
and
say
that's
is
a
the biggest flaw in the education system now? Like my perspective is number one, teachers don't care.
Teachers do care, systems don't care. When you're teachers don't care like police don't care. All police aren't bad. They don't start off that way. All teachers don't. When you don't, I adapted. I'm an adapter. I stopped grading papers so that I didn't get upset that when I'm failing, kids are failing. So when you go through that, again, 85% of the population, right? This is the job you have. You're teaching this grade. You better have this grade, this information, and be able to pass this question. I didn't teach like that. I taught to kids. And so when most people already think like that, and so when they believe in this job, right, as a teacher, when you first start teaching, and you really do, you love it. And years of beating you down and not allowing you to be a creative, because teachers are creative too. I created
Yeah.
every lesson plan, every entry, every writing exercise, every map, I created it all myself as a teacher, because you're not paid a lot. You do it for the love of teaching and
I'm gonna
learning.
I'm gonna say that there's an obvious
You get beat down,
effort. There's an obvious effort to derail every
derail.
single part of the possibility of escaping the lower rungs, because like they're literally it's from every single angle
Free
from
college all the way through, yeah.
oh dude, I'm getting paid to go to school. I graduate in a month, so I'm like, damn it, I want to go. I'm gonna keep going. I gotta keep going. But like I get paid to go to school because I pretty much just get good grades. They said C's get degrees. I was like, well, yeah, but A says they pay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna definitely do that shit. So like, I'm gonna have my bachelor's in business with a concentration in marketing. But as I saw, like, I was getting ready to go for my master's. I was on the expedited course, and I saw AI, and I was like, huh. So I saw an ad that showed, it can do all these things very quickly, and I was like, all right, let's see. So
So
I
why do I need to do?
uh,
Why am I going to go to school for it?
right. Well, I tried it just to see with my knowledge, and I've been in it, what 12 years now, or yeah, 11 years now. I've been in marketing specific, and it I- what I could do in a 40-hour work week, it could do in about I did it in about half an hour. It was like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
right, they're not gonna
Yes,
pay you
but I'll tell
shit.
you what the problem. It's not the problem in schools isn't AI. The problem in schools is there isn't a problem. They're
Oh no,
designed the
bro.
exact way they are. Social education is to pull everybody down to a certain degree, because then
Yes,
you have the pipeline to prison as part of school. You have the shoe into the factory and the workforce system.
yes,
And then you have the few that come off become owners, and they're taking money from big investors. And so they're making money off the education system the way it is. There's no reason to change it. There's no problem with the system. I hate to say that. The system isn't broke. It's designed exactly and operating exactly how
right.
it was
Which is
designed.
that's the problem,
Yeah,
because like the
it's
like
truth.
we had the hippie commune out here, and the Montessori schools.
Yeah.
It's a much better concept. I like the
Yeah,
people that work
Montessori
in
school,
that.
I taught at one before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I
Open
like the
open
belief
school
system.
approach.
Yes,
Yeah.
I like the approach. I like the ideology and the
But I
results that they
interview.
get. It's undeniable the results they get. So, with that being the case, we're not only facing the education problem, we're also getting literally poisoned by everything we eat, our water, our air. Now, the fucking
And what we
and
learn.
I don't mean that like a fucking hippie. I mean like literally, you look at what is actually out there, and we're getting poisoned at every iodized salt.
Yeah.
Let me just add, iodized salt. Do you eat that or not? Like,
I
because
Right.
some people
eat
like,
Regular
oh no,
salt.
I buy straight Atlantic sea salt.
Yeah, that's good
so
stuff.
it doesn't have the iodine in it.
Chemicals.
Now,
Yeah.
iodine, specifically iodine, it's been linked to boosting children's IQ by 15 to 20 points because they had iodine. We didn't have you don't come across it naturally unless you eat specifically a lot of fish, and not every type of fish, just this one type of fish. So like it cures a lot of issues like the iodine does, but the fact that the iodized salt cured all these issues and boosted across the country when it was enacted initially, um, it was like 15 to 20 points. And they're like, oh shit, okay. And so we're going away from it. We're going away from it on purpose. And that's where it's
Sure,
like,
I'm
yo,
sure we
look
are.
at it. Most people, it was 95% of people can't tell the difference between iodized salt and regular. They just think they can. And especially on something like how much fucking salt are you putting on it? So
Well, here's
like
the thing. They're
that
pulling
small
that
thing,
chemical out to dumb the population down. You know what I
that's what
mean?
I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
And
And
so
that's the minimum that they're doing.
to go back to the question of schools being broken, they're not. This is the design system we live in, the fabricated illusion that we call life. You know what I mean? Unless you live it into the best of your own capability, right? But for the most part, everything we're told and shown and it is all an illusion, and school's just another one of them, all the way through the collegiate level. And I have college degrees, and I'm saying that
Absolutely.
with all honesty. So
I'm
it's
about to
designed like that.
graduate. I'm about to graduate from my dream college, and I didn't learn a single fucking thing. I went 4 years
No.
and haven't learned a single thing. Like I already knew all the stuff. Like even every single professor is like, okay, yeah, you got it. It's like, yeah,
Well,
I'm
it's
already
not. It's
running
not.
business. I've been doing this for 20 fucking years. Like,
How I
yeah.
don't know how are school systems in like Canada, you know. I mean, I think they prepare you for job fields better, don't they? Am I correct?
Um, so something I tell my son is so my son, he's big into basketball. His dream is to play in the NBA. So we're full force behind getting him to go down that avenue. Um, i- the thing is in Canada, you get a lot of kids, they go to university and then you spend the next 10, 15, 20 years paying off your school debt and you come out of
Yeah,
university and you're working a regular job at fucking H&M or fucking Burger King or something, right? Because there's nothing in your field.
correct.
And
I
and
have
I
that
think
problem right now. I have a
I think
master's degree in education and computing design. I'm working at Sonic Cheeseburger Place because I'm overqualified and I'm too old. And it's like they don't want to. I'm overqualified for jobs that are out there, or they just don't exist. I
yeah.
can't get them.
And that's part of the problem too is overqualification. They don't want to pay you your value because they can pay some idiot half the price
Yep.
to
And
do the
mold them
same
how they
job.
want to.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
And
Florida
so the
it's
system,
specifically has
it's
you're allowed
set
to be
up
a
like
teacher
this.
with an associate's degree. You can be a teacher here with an associate's degree. It's like I don't know any other place that even remotely allows that. Like for a while
No.
they said there was such a
In
shortage
New
of
York.
teachers, they were like, if you finished high school and some type of
I
certification
remember that.
class, dude,
I
it's
remember that. It was
fucking
when I was
sad.
recruiting to teach. This was like 20 years ago because in New York State, it's the highest standard of education in the United States of America. You know what I mean? They have regents degrees. You have to have a master's degree to teach, and you have to get it within 5 years of becoming a teacher. So you put yourself and incur a tremendous amount of debt after going to get a bachelor's, your teaching certifications, all the exams, the information, and then you got to go
You're
get a
in.
master's and get
You're
that
bought
certified
in.
and yada
yeah.
yada. You incur a tremendous debt.
And like, speaking about the education system, going back to like when I was in high school, I'm a high school dropout, and the reason behind me dropping out was I struggle with a few things. So I've always been the type of person. if I don't know something, I'll admit it and I'll ask for help.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I
Best
was
learners.
asking for help, and essentially I was being told, oh, if you don't get it in the class, then too bad, too sad, right? I've had some
Yeah.
teachers say, oh, well, you're gonna fail anyway, so who cares? So I reached a
Ah,
point where I was like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
you touch on a great point because I was a teacher, like I said, 20 years, and around third grade, kids are starting to get pushed into different groups. You're gonna fail. Don't worry, they're dropping out. This kids are gonna pass
Yeah,
high school but go nowhere. And this little small group is gonna pass high school, go to college. So let's focus on the upper half of this middle group and this
yep,
top group. The lower group, if they fall, they do. If they just make by with passing them through, they do. That other group, they're going to jail, juvie, dropping out. Don't worry about them. And that starts in around the third grade.
yeah,
Bruh. I mean, that I'm literally I went to 16 schools to get through 12 grades of school. So like I moved around a lot. And so like I
And
got
they
an
definitely
experience
didn't
of
worry
the
about you then.
you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't have time to worry
You
about
weren't
me.
gonna be
Moved
there
out.
next year. You already had a
So
proven track
like
record of that.
which actually worked to my benefit because like, if you get around a lot, like then you have to adapt really quickly, meet people, go, all right, be able to be a
Yeah,
good judge of character like really quickly. And so
yeah.
like I
Goes
would
into your
say that
engineering.
I did the damn thing. I was not good in high school. I barely went to any high school. Like I have no idea how I passed. Maybe they just passed me along. So when I went to go try and get into college like 4 years ago, 36, they were like, "Oh man, you're writing your what was the other? It's all the written.
Mathematics,
No, not the math. They were like, yeah, so we're gonna be real with you.
zero
We
zero
normally,
classes.
yeah, zero classes. Then when they started at addition. I'm like, this is retarded. Then they got to long division. I was like, I don't remember how to do that shit. Okay, maybe it's worse than I thought. Yo, that shit was it's a year and a half of me just doing math classes to get up to be able to get a college credit in it. So all my fucking electives was eaten up by fucking math classes. I was doing 40 hours of math like tutoring. It didn't
Non-credited.
fucking help. It didn't fucking help.
Didn't
Um,
count for
so
anything.
so what I did, like I got all the way up to college algebra. All right, it's the beginning because I still need like two more math classes after that. There's no fucking way. I got
No
to
way. I
about
couldn't pass
I got to
algebra if you
5 weeks.
paid
And I'm
me.
like, what the fuck? Okay,
I
like
couldn't.
that's a big
I couldn't
jump. And I
pass
was already
algebra if
spending
you
40
paid
hours a
me.
week. So I was like, I dropped that one class and I kept going. And I was like, man, there's something wrong. Like obviously, like because this is not people should be able to do
Oh,
this,
it's
right?
hard.
Like other people are doing it. So I found a neuropsychologist. Cost me $1,000 to get the test done, but is to prove that an adult has dyscalculia. Dyscalculia is like I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's like number
no,
dyslexia, and it's not really
okay,
dyslexia. I don't like jumble up numbers like that, but you start putting give me your phone number, and by the time you are done saying it, if I was not writing it down, it is gone, just because it's a
Yeah.
number. But I can tell you
Yeah.
insane facts
Numbers in a
about
row
other
are
shit.
harder to learn.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
where
That's the same. Same with
it's a
me, man. I couldn't
disability,
do math.
evidently.
Yeah.
They're
I
like,
couldn't
oh
do
no, you're
math if you
disabled.
paid me. I couldn't do math if you paid me, but I have published pieces in JSTOR, which is throughout the college network and
Yeah.
the universities. You know what I
Oh
mean?
right.
I'm a phenomenal writer.
Yeah. No, that's what.
what's
That's it.
funny is you talk about numbers. Number one, I think the downfall you talk about number dyslexia was when we started getting cell phones and you program people's numbers in your phone.
Stop using it.
That really contributed to that. And number one or number two, you talk about math and numbers. That's something that I really struggle with in school was fractions and all that shit.
Yeah.
I didn't learn math properly until I became a carpenter.
Yeah, you're 100%. I'm happy you say that because I'm also a carpenter. And I was like, man, I
Practical.
can't do math. And I was like, wait a
Yep.
second. I'm doing square footage. I'm adding digits. I said, I'm
Yep.
doing math every single day in practical appliances.
Yes.
And
That's
that's
the
something
difference.
that with my son, when he was struggling in math, I would get out the tape measure and I would get out certain calculations and measuring square footage and
Yeah.
different volumes and stuff like that. And so I think when it comes to teaching certain things like that, you got to use realistic
Hands-on stuff. Yeah.
examples, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people that's the other thing that I think teachers have struggles with is everybody
Not
learns
everybody learns the
differently,
same.
right?
Everybody learns differently. Yeah, there's three styles of learning: kinesthetic, audio, and visual. You know what I mean? Kinesthetic is that hands-on approach, and a lot of us too. That's why the trades are such a big in every place. You know, the trades is
Yeah.
relied on. a job field because electricians, plumbers, any trade you name it, they're using hands-on math, and those are
They're
probably
making
your
money
people in
right
school
now.
that didn't do well in those classes.
Those are
Yeah.
the people that are making money right now, though. When you look at the actual job outlook, those motherfuckers, the welders, the fucking plumbers, the
Plumbers,
electricians, they are all
they're making
making
money.
so much money that it is. I mean, I saw one. It was a job listing for $1.5 million for a plumber.
Hmm.
Yeah, trades are
I
always
don't,
going to make
I
money
don't
because
do that, but I will do
it's a
that for
skill.
1.5. What the fuck?
It's a skill because just like anything, like how I tap into my creative being, when I'm
Yeah,
building a shower, when I'm gutting a bathroom and remodeling it, I'm still tapping into a creative spark within me
oh
that
yeah,
sees
Yeah.
something that is not there. And that's why I love carpentry, because you can envision it, you can build it, and then it's there and it's done, and you did that. You know what I mean? That creativity came to life. So I'm a
yeah,
creative. I try to use that, and I was a creative teacher. I created all the lessons, and so creativity is a characteristic of some people and not others. That's why
yeah.
not
That's
everybody's an
true.
actor or a ballerina or a
Yeah.
musician or a carpenter or
I hate
those
to
are all
downplay, but
creative divines.
I call those
We
people
all have
worker
some
bees.
shape, form, or fashion skill.
I
Just got
call
to
them
tap
worker
into your own
bees though.
personal one.
That's not true. I've seen people that literally have they it's not that they don't have a skill or anything. They are not exploring. They are not even looking for it. They're like, I like going my 9 to 5 day. I like going to watch TV at night and eat my meal and then I'm going to sleep and repeat. And they have no problem with it. They're like, yeah, it's not a bad life.
That's
No,
comfort
that's
zone.
85% of,
It's yeah,
that's what we
it's
said.
it
85% of the world is dumb, deaf, and blind.
yep. And it's there's followers. I heard it just 2 days ago. Is there's follower 85% is the followers. There's 10% that are leaders, and there's 5% that
There's
are
five of us.
observers.
Yeah, that's
They're
that's the
observers.
nation of
They're
gods
actually
and
just
earth.
they're you're aware of it. And now, what it pointed out as well is that it said that out of the 5% of the observers, 2 to 3% of them bad things end up happening to them. Like
Yeah. Well,
they don't
those are
want you
the
pointing shit
that's
out.
you're breaking down the philosophy, the religious philosophy of the 85 percenters, the nation of gods and earths, the branch of, Nation of Islam.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
that's what
yeah,
they
there's a
believe.
lot. There was a lot of talk about that too. Is that like there's a big public announcement in Israel talking about their number one problem right now. This is like an ad that went out was that Af like black dudes in America, the younger black dudes in America are their biggest problem. I'm like, y'all are
Yeah,
finding
because they're
in
calling them out
America.
for the Khazar blood. That's what it
Yeah,
comes down to.
that's
Yeah,
oh,
that's
see,
exactly what
so
it comes
like
down
So
to.
hold on, hold on, hold on. In Israel, their biggest problem is young Black Americans.
yeah,
Because
yeah, it's like
they're calling them out on
what?
not being real
Yeah,
Israelis.
yeah.
Yeah, this is true. I've seen a lot of this
Dude, this is craziness though, man. Like I'd
because they
never
say
heard it
that's the
till
black Jew. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah.
and this is
See,
a
and I'd
real.
heard that
This is
before.
real.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
heard that
this is
like
not
years
something a lot
ago.
of people talk about because it touches the border. They say of anti-Semitism, but
Yep.
when you look at really the history of Israel and where it sets geographically, it's from a certain domain of people, and then there's
Why'd
a
you
certain
start at
domain
that
of people that are
sentence?
from a different region of the world. You know what I mean? And that's just factual history. I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm being geographically aware of what's in the
I'm
geography.
I'm gonna I'm gonna touch on that in a second. I'm just gonna grab another cigar real quick. Give me 1
Yeah,
second. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling.
Yeah, that right there is like so the black Jews of the Khazar blood, like that right there is
that's
so
the white Jews are
interesting.
the Khazar blood. Yeah, the white Jews are of Khazar blood. It's the Khazar Empire that kind of
Hmm.
migrated down into Israel and
Hmm.
started
And that's what
to dominate a force, convert over to Judaism. And you can convert to the religion, but you can't convert to the people. You can convert to
right.
the religion
Yeah, but
aspect, but
how much blood they
Judaism
can
is,
get?
is more than just a religion. It's a region of the
Yeah,
world, Judah,
yeah.
Judea. And so you can't convert into that. There's a stark difference. There's just geographically speaking. I'm no genius, but I'm just looking at the geography. You know,
It's not only that. There's so much to it. Like I mean, I'm fully, eyes open and see it all and all that good stuff, but like
just I'm telling people I'm not going to speak too much on it, but do some research
no,
on it. It's a
that's what I'm saying.
it's a fascinating concept.
Some people may say, uh, some people may
Fascinating
say,
concept. And you
allegedly.
should, you should. And this is, I'm happy you're saying, and I'm seeing right now, you got the armed and educated shirt on, you know what I mean? And armed and educated is the label because you should arm yourself with knowledge of who you are,
Yep.
what people are, what culture is, what government laws are, and then if you know all those, then yeah, of course you got a gun, you know what I mean? But the bullets is just a representation of the ammo for your brain, you know what I mean?
Why Andy Mineo got kicked off of Lecrae is because he made a song. He's you know Lecrae, the Christian rap, like the label.
I don't, I've heard the name before, yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
couldn't tell you
I
what
mean
kind of
they've been
music
at it
it's
since
about.
the Christian music. It's the Christian rap, and like the funny part was like Andy Mineo made a song about loading up scripture and arming. He was arming scripture, and he's shooting people in the face with it, and it's he's using the analogy, and like
It's a great analogy,
that got him it got
great
him kicked
concept.
off the fucking label. They were like, "It's too violent. You said you're gonna shoot people in the head with scripture." Like
Knowledge
I'm making it. Yeah,
with
this is like,
knowledge.
and yeah, they was not feeling it. So like,
I never
there's
heard that. That's fucked up.
no,
That's
it is
censorship
fucked.
at its finest.
But the every chance they get, like we were getting shooting the shits. We were getting 1,000 people on the live stream every single time for so long, and then randomly it goes down to literally 8 people, and I'm like,
Shadow
huh,
banning. Yeah, once
are
you
you
start talking,
crazy?
that's the problem is, see, here's the thing, it's Pandora's box. When you open it,
Yeah.
you can't close it. Once you learn something, you cannot unlearn it.
Yeah.
Once you speak something, it cannot be unspoken. Once you make an action, you live with that action for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? And so once you start exposing yourself to knowledge and information and digging into the reality of things, you're opening a box that even stuff that you're like, okay, I know is not true. You still read it, you still processed it. It's still a part of you now. Because just as much as these conversations, everything we do with one another and how we interact with all information, people are information, books are information,
Hmm.
movies, music, information. You take a part of that with you and it becomes a portion of you now.
Absolutely, it's the ripples, man. We're nothing but
Yeah.
ripples in the
And so you
vibration
can't
space
unlearn
time.
what you know, and they don't want people learning. So bring it even back to what we started with schools. So like they don't want people to know. That's a dangerous thing. To know is bad. And
That's
many
something
countries
Yeah,
push
that's
create
this.
something
knowledge.
that really woke my brain up to all the shit going on was actually Prodigy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they talked about it a
And
lot back in the day.
Yep.
when you listen to that album Hegelian Dialectic, the Book of Mystic, fuck. When you listen to that album, it's just like it's hard to take it all in at once. You have to listen a few times. And I
Yeah.
think the problem with the world is that they're not ready for it.
No, they're not.
Everybody wants to wake up and live this fucking
Ostriches.
fairy tale life and
Fantasy life. Yeah, you're right.
the government's there to have your back and watch out for you and all is good and people don't realize like kids kids don't disappear for no reason.
How
Right.
many?
Shit doesn't
How
just
many?
happen.
How many of those kids? That's a lot of kids that just
Homeless,
randomly get up and walk out the house
homeless
one day.
people. People just disappear, period, bro. Kids
Yeah.
and adults and information has changed and it's
I told
crazy,
you,
man.
the Heist Club, the series. I'm telling you, like all that shit is it's somewhat reality. Like so, okay, so we're so
Doing
I
a
made a
movie
so yeah,
video heist club. Yeah, it's fire.
we've done
Concept
a whole
album.
album. Like we did a 13 artists from around the world. We got together and put together this album where everybody played
Project.
a
Yeah.
role in it. Like they played a role in it, and then we had the movie filmed, so we were doing a movie with the album, and that right there is just one part, and that's just it's just a heist movie. It's just like we're gonna rob a dispensary, a weed dispensary. This
Yeah.
is all it's an all cash business. So it made so it just made sense, and it was like, all right, we're gonna do a fucking movie because we're gonna do the heist. Everybody play their role.
And each
What was your
song
role?
plays into the next of the robbery. It's a really
Oh,
dope concept.
and that's where it's
I
just the
got a cool
beginning,
part
though.
in it.
That's what I'm
Yeah, and
saying.
then
You're
that
the
just going to evolve into more themes because if you can string a gang of concepts and themes together, you can really say a message. And that's what hip hop
Yeah.
is now missing. To bring it back to what we said way long time ago, right? What's missing in music? A message, a soul, a meaning. That really is what's missing is the message behind the
Yeah.
music. There used to be a message.
You know who
it's
I blame for hip hop?
huh.
Bubba Sparks.
Yeah, yo,
Yes.
hey, hold on.
That's a good.
Wait. I actually cannot say I'm gonna jump on the other side of that one. Yes, after the first album, that first album was actually country hip hop that can be done well because it wasn't gimmicky like the single was like every other single will be because that is the commercial part. But his actual album, that first one, was actually like it's expressing his perspective in life, like the shit
But
that he's going through. That shit is good
his
album.
first stuff was fire, but I can see what he's saying. It came out of that era,
Hmm.
that time in Southern rap, because even think about it, 3 6 Mafia kind of went that
Hmm.
route. A lot of people down south went that country route.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
You know
which
what I
is
mean?
uh, uh, like ain't nobody trying to do all that, man. Like that's the one type of music that like yes, if they didn't ever come on and sing, I could probably listen to those beats all day, no problem, because the beats are actually high quality productions, but but as
The
soon as that
music
accent
is
hits, as soon as the accent hits me, it's like, dude, I listen to country. I have no problem with country. Well, not today's stadium country shit, but like up to 2000, I'm with it. But yeah, nah, that
I,
shit is not. It's just it's an
crazy.
affected accent and shit. Like they're just randomly picking this up to be fucking. I
Yeah,
mean,
they
even
probably
Jelly
don't
Roll
really
picked that shit.
talk like that.
No,
I don't
So
like any
what?
music that
That's who did it.
pretends.
Haystacks did that shit for real.
Tootsie Roll.
Gypsy
So
I'd say I
Roll.
don't like anybody that puts a gimmick or pretends or puts an act on for somebody they're not. And
Yeah.
you used to not be able to do that in music either, whether it was rock and roll, whether it was R&B, whether it was hip hop.
Ah,
You were
the
yourself.
mainstream always like that was always allowed in the
Mainstream
mainstream, but
music, period, because
yeah,
that's mainstream. But I'm
yeah,
talking real hip hop, real
yeah,
rock and roll,
actual.
like the
Hmm.
so
talk,
what are your
like
thoughts on
punk scene.
there was an I think it was an album that came out in the early 2000s, and I think it was like metal-ish bands with hip hop artists. And I remember there was
Take a bite out of
I
rhyme.
know the
Take a
album.
bite out
System
of
of a
rhyme.
Down and Wu-Tang.
Yeah, I remember
That's what
the
it
album.
was. That's exactly what it was. It was take a bite out of rhyme.
Yeah.
That shit was
I-
Yeah.
that was on. Did you like? Did you get? See, I got down with that mix because like Head PE. That's a great. That's on
Yeah,
all
but they've
day.
done, think about Run DMC and Aerosmith did a dope song
Oh
way
yeah,
back in the day. They meshed the
that's
two.
that's what saved
Because
them.
hip
That's
hop is
Reuben
almost an
again.
extension of rock and roll, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because they took the beats of the records and cut them, and that's what you made hip hop out of. So that's more of a natural combination.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, like all these redneck kids are sitting there, in their Ford trucks, but they still got systems, and they still are
Yeah.
listening to hip hop. Prior to this, hip hop being,
Sure.
it was a natural progression as well. Like
They're just going to do
just the
their
way that
thing.
it's
So
done
that's
is
why I said
gross. It's like,
I don't hate
like
on
it's
them
just
because
gross.
I don't hate on them because they're in their bag. They're doing their thing. They're artists. I support every artist. I really do. However, preference wise, and I have a
Yeah,
title to, we all do, to a preference to an opinion. That's what makes us human.
absolutely,
I don't
absolutely.
listen to it, but I would never hate on them for it, if that makes sense.
That's not true. Drake is trash.
But I don't like Drake, but
No,
he's
I
still in
know.
his bag. He, again, preference
You gonna
wise,
say?
not my style of music.
Hey, I was gonna say because you said because remember that I think it was Charlie from down south, from Tampa, where you said Charlie Funk, where you said Drake is trash. I don't like it,
Oh
dude. That was
yeah,
an
yeah,
hour
yeah, yeah.
long, just
Charlie Funk.
fucking lashing on like how Drake. How you gonna say he's trash? He was serious
I
as
just
fuck.
don't like him. I have an opinion, and I base it on because
Yeah,
again, we grew up listening to the same hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And so, real hip hop, I know what real hip hop is.
What
I lived through it.
I'm curious if your opinion is the same as mine. What is it that you don't like about Drake?
He one doesn't write his own lyrics. A large portion of his shit is not his own creativity. So that to me is always a turn off
yes,
when artists
Yeah.
don't do their own lyrics. You know what I mean? Then how are you an artist? Commercially, it's tailored to that pop sound. And number three, he's from a hit television show in Canada, and he's claiming
classy.
to be some gangster that he's just
That's on
simply not. I watched
Nickelodeon,
the television program as a kid. You're an actor. You've always been an actor.
rolling
And
around
that's
out
just my
there.
take on him.
Nah,
Yeah.
he okay. So there's songs that he does, but he's a chameleon. The reason I don't like him is because he's such a chameleon that he does all these different styles because he's kind of like Ray Charles in his early years where he didn't have an actual style. He's just like, I could do that. I could do that.
Well,
And people let him do it.
that's a byproduct of he is a chameleon. It's just a byproduct because every artist he works with, he pays to write his lyrics. He doesn't write his own
Yeah,
lyrics. So of course
I
he's
mean,
taking on the style of who he's featuring with because they wrote his lyrics for him.
well, somebody, so we know we have a mutual friend that, he's working, he's been doing Yeezy's lyrics for years, evidently. Like he's been a ghostwriter and he just doesn't get credit. He gets paid, that's it. No credits. I'm like,
Yeah, there's different
that's crazy to
arrangements you
me.
can have. Different arrangements with ghostwriting where you can write people's stuff and make no money but collect a nice sum at the front end, or you collect
Hmm.
rights and you take a smaller sum at the front end.
So now
Hmm.
what about artists like Dre, where
Dre
he
doesn't write his own lyrics either.
yeah.
Very few
See,
of them.
and he's
Dr.
he's not
Dre,
even
yeah,
the
Ren
producer.
wrote
He's
them,
he's an
Cube wrote them.
executive. He's an executive producer. He's like a Rick Rubin style where it's gonna go through him. He's got his process. That's how he got
He's
his
gonna do the final
musicians.
master on it.
Yeah, that he's pretty much gonna be the
He may have
mastering
made
engineer. But
some of the beats on it, you know.
some maybe some he doesn't have very many of those. Like the people really cooking
DJ
his stuff
Quick
up.
made a lot of his beats though.
I'm
Superfly made a
saying
lot of his
a
beats.
lot of
Daz
people, a
Dillinger made
lot
a
of
lot
people
of his
did,
beats.
and
Yeah,
that's
a
where it's
lot of
like,
those
okay, but
beats
he
on
got
that
famous on
album.
it.
Yeah,
One
Tupac's
album
album
every
and
10 years.
Tupac and Snoop was Warren G, Daz Dillinger, Superfly, and DJ Quick. That's who made majority of those beats for both of those albums. All Eyes on
Credit,
Me and
yeah,
Chronic
credited.
2000.
Oh, Dre, he gets all the praise. That's why, like as
He's
far
the
as
executive
producers go,
producer.
yeah, he's an executive. Like, but Rick Rubin, he's a liar too, though. Even though I mean that's the one that I like the most and relate to. He's still a liar. He said he doesn't know anything. I don't play music. I don't sing. I don't know anything about the music side. I just have my opinion. And he's like, I don't know anything in the studio. Every single person that's worked there is like, oh no, he knows all of the equipment. He knows exactly what everything does, how it operates, everything.
Sure,
He
he's an
just doesn't
engineer.
he
He
just
should.
doesn't do it. He just doesn't do it. He's like telling somebody else to do it. I'm like, all right, see, I I can appreciate that. But he's not a producer
Well,
in the
yeah,
sense
once
of
you
he
have a
didn't
team, you have a
produce
team.
anything. You know what I'm saying? But he
You get
didn't
people that
make any
specialize.
music. Yeah, the difference between a producer and he's a conductor. That's what I think. That's like Dre.
Yeah,
He's
he's
a
conducting
conductor.
other producers to do their thing. And so that's what the executive producer technically means. Now, I'm the
Yeah.
executive producer on my album. I don't know how to mix shit, but I oversaw the entire project. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
of
I made
course.
sure start to finish it was what I wanted. So I'm the executive producer. Chris is a producer. Jay Slug is a producer. Imminent Productions is a producer.
I mean that's where I'm trying not to on the movie like with doing all the stuff. I'm trying to make the credits not look like it's me. Like I still want them credits, but I ain't gonna put them on a. It's like what was you? Oh,
But
editor.
you'll be
So I
the
can correct
executive
them.
producer of the whole project. It's your project.
Yeah, and right, I wrote it. I thought, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like, but that right there is like, how do you not, how do you do that without looking egotistical? Because like, no, I did do all that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
But
They
if you,
need we need
whatever, you don't got to brag about it. You just put it out and let the music speak for itself.
no,
That's
it's not
Do you
it.
even gonna
think
be.
do you think that like for example when an artist has even if it's just a chorus, right?
Yeah.
Or a hook, whatever you want to call it, and somebody writes the hook for them. Do you think once that happens, almost like an athlete popping for steroids at one point in time, now every win becomes a question mark?
No, no,
Um, you know,
no,
if
not
someone
at
wrote
all.
the hook for them and they performed it, they didn't give rights, then that's kind of a crutch. Yes, I don't believe in that. If they wrote the hook and give the person the credit for it, or someone else is singing the hook, I'm all right with the collaboration. You know,
If
I don't. I
Avril
write all
Lavigne
my
got
own
credit,
hooks. I write all my own lyrics. I don't contract any of my stuff out. But I can see people that do. Hooks especially are hard to write.
Yeah.
Philly's a
Yeah.
hooker. Uh, Philly Banks. Philly Banks is my hooker, man. He's a fucking
Yeah, I mean
he is the
it's
best
just
hooker in the
another format,
business.
another skill in the industry. People think everything is just one person, but it takes a team of sound
Mhm.
people and creatives to come up with a song. You know, bring
But
spinning it back to what we started this conversation
that's
with,
why I don't.
right?
That's why. What do you think? Okay, so this is the big topic that everybody's talking about. It's not like it's a hot topic, but like AI in music. Like, where do you fall? No, no,
So
not
my
you. I know your opinion. Hold on, I want to hear his
oh,
first because I know your opinion.
AI and music, I
Yeah.
the only thing I like AI for is these fucking stupid ass skits where I seen one the other day where 50 Cent was in like the fucking the slot fighting fucking ring and he
oh
was
yeah,
slapping
yeah.
Ja Rule and shit. I like that shit, but when it comes to AI and music, or
The
using it to
creative
create.
process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. It's
I agree. I mean, artificial intelligence is the opposite of human intuition and
yeah,
creativity. And so
I
if you're
agree,
using
and
artificial intelligence to write your lyrics, that's pretty whack. Same
all
with
right,
beats,
well,
that's
no,
pretty
okay,
whack. You know what I
so
mean?
it
But
should.
if you're how I use AI, I use it as a tool that it is. How can I push mine? What algorithmic hook should I do? What, you know what I mean? Like for the reels and for, that type of stuff. Then I do like it for that. You know what I mean? Because I'm using it as a tool for my business. Now it
yeah.
doesn't do anything creative. I shoot all my own video, I edit all my own video, mix it, I create all my own lyrics, perform all my own lyrics. I don't run it through a machine. I don't do any of that. I don't even like auto tune. You know what I mean? I like the sound of my natural voice to
It's
come through.
like what was the movie? What Creed? There was three Creed movies, right?
Mhm.
And I think it was the last one. When you watch the final fight, it's so fucking AI. And I'm
Yeah.
sitting there watching it. It's like I can't do this. I had to turn it off.
Yeah, because it almost takes the human element out of things, right?
Well, it
Exactly.
does.
The
It's
acting,
in
the
the, what is that
creativity.
called? The uncanny valley. It's like you recognize it immediately. It's like, not it's not right. Like now
That's
think about it
not a
by
human
CGI.
being.
Yeah, but think about it by CGI. Like y'all were there when Independence Day came out, right? Do you remember
Yeah.
Independence Day?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
How did that movie look? Like when's the last time you've seen it and how did that movie look? Because like if you see it any time in the past 15 to 20 years, you're gonna
You're
go,
like, this is terrible.
this is dog shit as far as the CGI goes. Like it was like, what the fuck is that? I can see the strings on the fuck. Like it's that bad. But yet, um, now as soon as we like, they can do things that we can't even imagine to do, and it's like, oh
To
fuck,
create.
that's really cool. And they did it for very cheap, and they did it. They're telling their story. I don't really have a problem with that. Like I just can't. Fundamentally I can't see a problem with it, because like, again, fucking
I
we
don't
couldn't
believe
do.
in using it. I don't believe in using it for your own creative force, though. That's
No.
No,
whack
I
to me.
mean you should have the vision. You should be driving it vision wise because the only thing that we can do that computers can't, we are the chaos in the machine. Like we're the thing that's unpredictable because we have that. Well, I mean they're kind of unpredictable too because they do hallucinate, but like
I don't want
uh
AI writing my lyrics
no,
and
you don't
call it
want. Well, I
art.
mean
Feel
if
established.
it can. No, you can't. I mean, if you're collabing with a fucking robot, then you should definitely give that machine ChatGPT. All right, I'm gonna give you co-production. Um, But like, I mean, I listen to the music. I make a shit ton of AI music just listening to it. Like, I like making iterations of songs. I'll sit there and do that, and then I'll break it apart because I got the studio pack, so I can break that apart into just the pieces, which is literally no different than getting a beat pack, than putting together
Sample.
my own. I have tons of samples. I have terabytes of samples sitting here that I can go through. I do the same exact thing in there. I still go sifting through it's sifting through the crates, but they're digital crates. Like I'm just looking for good shit. And it's like, oh, okay. That's a cool little, like, it's a cool riff. I'll take that out and put that there. It iterates really well and I can ideate really well. Like
So you
it lets
take
me just
that certain riff, right, and you put it into your AI program, and then it kind of generates its own thing from that.
both. It'll go both ways. I can sit there
It'll
and I
pull it
can
from another
beatbox.
song too.
Yeah, it'll do a lot of shit. Like I'll sit there and beatbox and it'll go, okay, this is the beat you want. Yep. And then I'll take that one and I'll put it and I'll say, make it real drums. Done. And then I'll go, okay, I'm gonna do this line. It'll max it, it goes, and it fucking puts it as a fucking trumpet. Cool. Like I can do it with my mouth, but it's pause. Um
That's
but
crazy.
yay. But no, but like legit,
It's
it's
a
allowed me
tool.
to yeah, I mean I was already looking at before AI was even a thing. I was looking at a thing called a Vox. Um it changes, it's the same exact thing, just a different way of doing it. It wasn't doing it through AI, it's just I mean, you say I want it to be a
Makes it
horn and
easier.
then you do it. Yeah.
But then do you
So it's
think
like
everybody can just make their own beats? Why have a producer
hopefully,
anymore?
hopefully. Like I want more beats. I want all the beats in the world. Yes, and I want all of them for me. I don't give a fuck. No. I like people producing a lot of stuff because the more iterations that you make, the sharper it ends up
Broadens
being.
the spectrum of music.
Yeah, you're gonna end up finding some crazy shit, and it's like, yo, can you copy it? The shit that our mutual friend is doing, like that shit is impressive. Having
Yeah.
you know,
He's impressive with what he's doing. I will give him
four
that.
four different artists that he's running
The
with
little
with
videos that he sends me, I'm like, damn, he
yeah.
fits me to the T, bro. Like you would think, you know, what I mean, it's crazy, son. It's
And that's what I'm
crazy.
getting at.
He's
Like it's
he's
hard
very
not.
talented.
So
But
why
he's put
would
a lot of
okay,
work
so
in. So using AI
yes.
as a tool, it's just
Yes.
like anything. You got to learn how to use it. You use it the
Hmm.
correct way. It'll do anything randomly, you know what I mean? But as soon as you hone your skill set in with it,
Yeah.
then you can become a
Yeah.
you know,
But
a little
then,
bit
but
better
no,
in that
but then
avenue.
you're going against your own against your own ideology, which is like we can't
I would
use it
never
because
have it write
it's
lyrics for me ever.
lyrics because you okay. So like as a bass player, it's like that was my first instrument. So as a bass player, like no, I'm definitely gonna be playing that shit. I'm not gonna just I can play the bass. I have hands. All right, I can play that. Having it do it, no. But why let it iterate on top of a shit the whole
Your
song that
bass that
was the
you
bass
just
line.
played.
Yeah, like go
No, I
ahead.
won't
Hey,
let
something
AI
on this
iterate
side.
on top of because then that takes my voice out of it.
Yeah, because you're
I
an
want my
MC and
voice
the
even.
words are what matters. The word for you, it's a different thing. Like than to say because I don't let it. Even writing the book, like the theory of everything, like or the paper, it's yeah, I'm telling you, it's got there's so much in there, man. It's hard not to make it a book. Um, it's everything. But no, like it's oh fuck. And then I go, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I know what you're saying though. Like AI, we're talking about AI really as a tool for increasing your abilities to do stuff, and AI is going nowhere. Let's just face it. It's in every industry, every market, every place. You got to integrate with it some shape, form, or fashion because it's going to
It's not
take
going
over,
nowhere. It's going
not
everywhere.
replace jobs, but make jobs different.
It's going to replace so many jobs. It's ridiculous.
It's already replaced a lot of jobs.
Yeah, it's going to
Amazon,
make a lot
Amazon
of
went
jobs different too.
no, bro. Like, okay, think about this. Okay, there's three point and Canada is very similar in their numbers. So like, 3.5 million truckers, within 2 years. It's already begun, but like within 2 years, they will not have a job. It will be fully manned. So they're typically
Self-automated. Yeah,
yeah, and so with that, that's every driving job. That's not just them. Okay,
that's
now
not only
we're
driving, that's the logistics behind it. That's the shipping and the receiving. It's all
Yep.
those jobs too.
that's what I'm talking about. And it's a
That's just
cascading
one
effect.
industry.
Andrew Yang ran in our 2016 elections, and nobody even paid attention because there's other shit going on. Don't let the other side win. I don't give a fuck, man. Who's gonna fight? Who's looking out for us? And this dude saw the future because he's an entrepreneur, and that's why I thought he was the best candidate. And I mean, he went to because he saw it in the truckers, and then he went to the factories and he saw what Amazon was doing then. And he's like, oh, they're gearing
Automated
up.
too.
Yeah, they're gearing up. So dark factories are a thing. Like they're already here in America, but they're popularized
Yeah.
in China where there's not a human in the place. They have a
We have
fully
a ton of them
automated.
in Phoenix. There's a
Do
ton of
you?
them. It's creepy because it's these big buildings, these windows. It looks like a regular old office. Parking lot paved, not a single car in there
Yeah.
operating at full capacity. Not a single person in the warehouse.
No, because that's what it is. Is like and
All
they
AI
will
running, bro.
they'll
It's all
create
AI running.
our. They're gonna create our work so we won't have work to do because there's just they're better than us as far as their output. They don't have to sleep.
Efficiency.
They will
Yeah.
never ask for they will, and it costs less for the employer. So, like the beginning of last year was $90,000 to get yourself a robot, and they were pretty fucking stupid. And then you keep like halfway through the year is like down to 50,000, and the last thing is they should be China's shipping for the end of this year to have them for $4,000. Everybody's gonna have a fucking robot. Everybody. Like it's
Yeah.
at $4,000. Like yeah, that's a hefty investment. Not really.
It won't be that much soon, though. Think of how phones went from a fucking
That bitch is mowing your lawn. That bitch is doing like you're literally just gonna be like the Jetsons life in this shit. So and it's
Jetsons.
coming. It's coming that fast because we're at this point in the trajectory of technology. Like it's natural just hook up because like this is it's fucking relatively flat for most of history. But once you get to this point right here, like that's that turning point, it goes straight the fuck up. It's not like it's curved anymore. It is straight the fuck up because you have the convergence of quantum computing, AI, and and
Augmented
robotics.
reality.
No robotics. So like those three things coming together means that ASI is right around the corner. They already say AGI is there, and they haven't let that one play out. Like it's already they have it in the labs, and they've already said it. And that's when does that become conscious? Well, when it's an ASI and it's smarter than every single one of us, like yeah, because that's the measurements. AI was like dumber than all of us, like most of us. Some people would still question it. Like I, but then then it came to damn, you son of a bitch. Fuck.
What it does is it's going to take over and implement itself into all, and it's just going to expand and grow, just like all technology does. Period.
Yeah,
So you
well, I
got to
mean,
learn how to utilize it.
Well, that's the
while you can.
trajectory we're on, where essentially everything is done for us, so we live off of a universal income, and
Yeah,
And they
that's
can,
it.
and
that would be.
with the, they control the credits because there'll be credits. No, there's no money, you guys, and each
Yep.
month and so on. And this is the
Yeah,
dystopian 1984 type shit.
yeah.
And
This is
that's where it's
1984
like
for real though.
if flock cameras are like I said earlier about privacy, that's another thing. Like the privacy of it, that's there's no such thing. What's your expected level of privacy? If you have any, you're crazy as fuck because it's already done. Like that's what these data centers are. Now, most people don't use AI to its full potential, right? Like they're saying we need all these data centers. If Florida
Oh,
alone has 155, every state's
I
having
have
one.
to give me 1 second. My daughter's calling me and ran right into
Yo,
6 o'clock.
get it.
Hold on a second.
But that's what it is. Like, like we're at a point where what can we do? Um, the owner of the CEO for Alphabet, which owns Google and fucking everything else, he said when it comes to AI, he goes, just enjoy the time that you have with your family and friends and stuff. He was being legit. He was being so sincere. That scared the fuck out of me, honestly, because I'm like, yeah, like, and it makes me a fucking doomer too, because like I tell people when I come in contact, and they're like, all right, that's people do not want to think about dying all the time, and if you tell them that this technology is going to, so what he said is he said that, but preface that with the fact that he said there's going to be a turbulent time, is what he called it, because it is going to displace that much of the the labor force. You're going to have a lot of crime for
Yep.
15 to 20 years, is what he estimated. He's like, on the good side, 15 years, bad side, 20 plus. It's like a whole generation of that fucking sucked. Because they're resetting the financial systems. Like, I
Yep.
mean, that's all it is. But who ends up on top is it's already almost essentially decided because I mean we're fighting essentially we already have the noose around our neck and we're like, what is this? They've already got it ready to go. It's I mean, it sucks because again, drones, that technology, AI, facial recognition, 1B. So they have these B drones and they were using it over Iraq, Afghanistan, room clearing because it's the size of a bee. It's got one round in it. It's 945, whichever, and they just throw that in the room, put it under the door, and yep, that's the person you're looking for. Blap. That's the size of a bee. If they have a million of those, fucking all right. It's a don't go outside, everybody. Don't open your fucking, like your door once because they're getting in. Like that right there is a scary thought with their intentions. They said that they were going to lock up. Recently, he said he was going to build million square foot asylums, and he said,
I'm back.
"You're going to end up in an asylum." Uh, Trump said he was going to build million square foot asylums, and that's for anybody that's ever done drugs, anybody that's homeless, or anybody that had any mental illness diagnosed. That at any point people could deem you almost like a what is that act?
And then
When
they can
they
lock you up. That's FEMA to the extreme right there.
yeah, but
That's a gross violation of rights.
it is, and that's what I'm saying. But the fact that that's where their mindset is and what they're doing with all of the um,
Yeah, but you know how I
uh,
look at all that? I'll
uh,
be honest, because I'll tell you how I look at it. All I can do is me. I can't control what they do. They're gonna do what they do. I just control my own avenue, my own life, anything that can inverts me, and I try to spread love to people. And
I do that.
you
I
can
do all that.
prescribe to that like that thought with it and get what are we gonna do? Then you're just like everyone else. You just do you and change your square inch of the earth.
Yeah, you and then you start effect change radiates outward, yes. But the thing is that like
I don't
incentives,
pay
I don't know if
attention to
you've
all
ever
this
had
bullshit.
incentives. Like when people have incentives, they lie, they cheat, they steal. That's how it works. That's how it's worked since the beginning of time. It's not going to change anytime soon. So like the incentive here is when there is no funds. Like I'm talking, and I'm not even talking like far into the future, man. I'm talking like 4 years.
It's
My
right here.
estimation.
It's like literally you could see it.
It's right
It's
around the
there.
corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do about it though? Like, there's not enough people that are aware,
There's
nor
nothing you can do.
no. That's what my point is. Is
Because
I
the
can
whole
only
thing
change my
is by the
story.
time you realize it, it's too late.
Like, so you can only do you. You can change your square inch, and that's what I would encourage,
You're going to end up with
everybody to
with
do.
a population that either just goes with the flow and does as they're told, or you're going to end up with a population that's off secluded somewhere way the fuck that
Yeah.
nobody
There's
even
nowhere
wants
you
to
can
venture
go.
to.
Yeah,
You know,
Antarctica.
we're going
Oh,
to end up
nope, we
like
can't.
Amazon people.
Yeah, dude. Wait, that
Yeah.
would be nice. That would be better than what I think they have in store. I mean, they openly admit that they want 2.2 billion people off the planet quickly. They don't want that. There's people also walking among us that are definitely going to hit 200 years old, but there's questions if they're going to be 1,000-year-olds that are working on the earth right now might live to be 1,000. Now, that's if we don't, ruin the whole thing. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't make them invincible. But no, like we're on the edge of this next level society. Like, but again, turbulent times. Like anytime there's a power
Better or
vacuum,
for worse, though. Nothing we can do about it. Whatever next
that's not
level
true
is,
though.
there's
Like,
nothing we
see,
can really
so
do.
I do believe that
Change our
there's
own,
things that you can do. I do. I
change
really
our own
do. I think
mindset is all we
preparation.
can do.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm all about preparation and education. Like, you just
Yeah,
sit there
that's
and
the only
talk
thing
to
you can
people
do.
just like this.
Yeah,
Talk to people and
but you
like
can't change
find
other
the real
people's
ones.
minds. You
Nope.
you can't prepare other people, just yourself.
This conversation is going to get me banned in fucking Canada, man.
And the fact that we all have to worry about that is a fucking problem, and
Yeah.
that's where it's at. But like me personally, I have a family. The only thing I care about is that my girls are safe. Even when shit goes down and it's craziness, I'm gonna make sure they're good. Like I got, I make those plans, and I got that set up to be
I got my
okay.
daughter, and aside from music, like I said at the beginning, the things that kept me alive already are my daughter, and that'll still be the force that drives me because I'm a father first. Before I'm
Yeah.
Todd, teacher, carpenter, before I'm an MC, I'm a father,
But
Yeah.
isn't
and
that
that's
the
the most
scary
important
part
role I
though,
hold.
is that as you grow and you mature and you become more educated with the realities of the world, is you start realizing it's not even our time, it's what's going to
In the
happen
future.
with our kids' time.
Yeah, or our
So
kids' kids.
how do you prepare them to think the way we
Show,
think? And
show and prove. You just enlighten them and
They're
encourage
of a
them to think for
generation, bro.
themselves, and yeah,
Their generation is
encourage them to think
fucked.
for themselves.
Because they are not capable people. Even when I was in the army, 2004, when I went in, they you had people trying to kill themselves in basic training, like because they couldn't deal with somebody yelling at them. I had heard the idea and the whispers of a stress card, like you get too stressed in the military training, then you have a card that you can get a 5 minute break. That's
what?
craziness. That's craziness, and that's a popular. That's actually a thing now. Like that's like well known. It's like, dude, they whispered about it. We're like, that's fucking crazy. What
You
is
want to
the
hear
the
something
saying?
even crazier than that?
Huh?
So just last week, so they had this political. So up in Canada, we got like conservatives, liberals, NDP, we got the Bloc, and we got the Green Party, right?
Okay.
So the NDP, they're having this political conference, and everybody has these speaking cards, right? And it's their privilege card. So if you are a trans this and identify as this, you get a certain privilege. So if you want to speak, you can hold up your card and cut in line and speak ahead of this person or that person. What a
That's a
fucking
that's a crazy
Funny.
system.
That's
You
funny.
kidding me?
All right, so I'm a black transvestite midget. Hold on. No, you're not. You're none of those things. I identify as. Like,
That's
what?
crazy.
I'm gonna send you guys the page to check this. You're gonna watch this and be like, what the fuck is going on up there?
I do
Yeah,
it.
that's
I do it on a
weird.
daily basis. I do it on a daily basis about everything. Like, what the fuck is going on every day? And it seems to have gotten worse. I don't know if CERN fucked some shit up or not, but if we could set that shit back, that'd be nice, you guys, because this season
CERN,
of
I
Earth
read
is
that
not.
CERN openly came out and said they destroyed 7 dimensions. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
You destroyed
yeah,
seven
dude.
dimensions? What does that
That's what I'm
even mean to
saying.
you?
Like that,
They said it with no concern in the world. Like, oh, don't worry about it. Seven
they said a
dimensions,
lot of things.
alternate realities are
CERN
now
fucks me up.
gone.
Dude, CERN fucks
I'm
me
like,
up for real, because like the shit
the
that they
shit
say
that's
openly, it's got to be the only thing I think is that's a psyop. Because the shit that they say is like, what did you just say? Is this on? Is anybody listening?
someone
Like,
get
cause
this?
that shit's crazy. That to say that, okay, they said that there's a, and these are employees, current, not ex, current employees saying like that they below the collider, they actually have a like a they've opened up a portal of some type.
Portals.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and
they
they're
have
like
said this
they're
openly. This is public
freely
knowledge.
like interacting with whatever comes out, and I'm like, okay, aliens, one thing. What the fuck are they doing then? Like as soon as the
What are
government
they?
said,
And
yeah, there's
they've openly
aliens.
said this. This
As
is
soon as
this
they
is not
said that,
conspiracy. This is published information.
yeah, oh yeah, like, but current employees, if you slander a business, they're gonna come after you, especially like saying some crazy shit that people are already paranoid of, right? Like you guys are gonna cause a fucking black hole by doing this. They're like, yeah, maybe. Anybody got a
Exactly.
problem with that? Like, for real, the end of Earth and they're doing it like every second, and it's like when it's running, like there's a collision very often, and it's like, dude, fuck, that shit is, but that's quantum physics and all that shit. Like, that's a new word that we never, that was not in the like the uh what the fuck, the zeitgeist. That wasn't the zeitgeist at all.
You think
That's
we're
the
living in
that's
a simulation?
Yeah, I think we could be
really
living in a simulation, a matrix of some sort.
I
It's
don't know if it's a
possible.
simula I don't know if it's a simulation. I do believe so. I'm biocentrism. So we are the universe experiencing itself. I don't think that
Yeah.
there's any difference between us. Like if you imagine like a sheet over your hand and you like tuck that in, like, almost like it's a glove. Each digit thinks that it's independent and it's by itself.
Independent.
But yeah, the thing that strings together with them is the ever connecting, like the energy that keeps getting recycled and so on. Like, and that's where we just think that we're individuals and we are just a part of the whole thing. Like the ego says, when
Yeah.
I die, I'm gonna, and that's what the basis for most religious or religious beliefs are, is that like this can't be it. Like this, I get forever. Yeah, you tell me that I get forever. I'll fear death less. I'll fucking, like, it's got its benefits. Pascal's wager. I get it, but like, uh, I don't know. I would say that the likelihood
I would
of
say
them
we're all fractures of
broadly,
source. Yeah, we're
they
fractures of
say that
source.
they just had neurons play Doom, and like, okay, so and they took fruit fly's brain and fucking and copied it, because it was 170 million neurons, and that's a lot, but you have to be able to map each one and so on. They put that that fly into the simulation. It didn't know the difference. Reacted the same, did all the same things. Before that, they just took like neurons, like the brain cells, grew them in petri dishes, put them with circuits in them, the chips, and was like, okay, this is your parameters. And they had it playing Pong before. Now it's playing fucking Doom. And they're just like, hey, let's see if it learns. It learns faster than a computer learns. And okay, so when is that
Yeah, it's
conscious? Well, when
fascinating.
they use it for, it's called wetware, but they use it for server space. It's a different
Yeah,
way of doing this without
hard
using
drives and things of that
yeah,
nature.
no,
Yeah,
electricity like that. It's producing
technology
it.
technology is far beyond what we can even comprehend, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we're minimum DARPA. We're 40 years behind anything that they have, but they obviously had some confidence in the fucking colliders and fucking all the crazy shit they're doing, crazy shit they're spraying, putting all
Yeah,
that like.
man. I mean, they definitely we are definitely behind what is really there, and we're given the ass end of technology and think it's the newest thing, but it's like not even close.
But
We
is
don't
it?
even. Some people can would it would blow their minds to know where technology has actually added in the nature of real reality. It'd blow
What
people's
if?
minds.
So I'm really big on the, that's what the theory of everything is all about, is like how it all ties back together. But like, I think that it's just one big circle, like one big cycle. What's the difference between a simulation and, because that fly didn't know that it was in a simulation, didn't make a difference. They even mentioned it in the Matrix, talking about uh if I don't know the difference, then what's it matter? Like
The
that's
difference. Yeah.
that's the
If you
question
don't
for
know the
anybody
difference,
that,
what's the difference?
right? Like, it's like ignorance is bliss. Like, sometimes I wish not to know any of the shit or even think about it, because it causes me fucking a lot of stress thinking about all the shit, trying to plan for what I don't have a great
See, and here's
effect
the
on it.
thing. That's what I was saying earlier. Is I process all this information, but I've realized along the way there's not much we can do about it. We
Mhm.
just take care of our own business and apply what we know to ourselves. Try to pass it on to other people. If they're in tune
If
to it, they pick up on it. If not, it's over their head.
if
Nothing you
you
can do
knew,
about it.
but if you knew without a doubt, 100% by 2030, that it would be that dystopian future that I'm talking about, and I mean like so fast, it's like, oh shit.
Nothing we
Uh,
can do about it. What are you gonna do about it?
would you
How you gonna
prepare in
change it?
some way, shape, or form? You would act different if you thought for real that that's
It's
the
like if
case.
you knew a
It's like
fucking
Christians. Christians do the
meteorite
same
was gonna hit
shit.
Earth and if a meteorite was gonna hit Earth and kill everybody, would you do anything different? No, because you'd never know it was gonna hit and you'd never know you died.
If they told you though, if they told you, they were like, all right, guys, yeah, it's fucked up, but we got to actually. There's a movie about it. It's fucking Don't Look
What
Up.
would I do? What would I do differently? What's going to change my between now and when that collides? Nothing.
You're gonna live a different life entirely. You're not going to fucking work. I promise you that
No, I
much.
wouldn't go to
You're not
work.
fucking.
No.
You're not dealing with any bullshit because you're like, I don't give a fuck. Like you stop caring about all that. That's something that we
Yeah,
will
but
never.
but I wouldn't stop caring about me. I'd still push me forward. That's my whole point of it. Is you could
I
prepare
If
all
wouldn't
you
there's
I
not
want, but
wouldn't
where are you
pushing
believe it.
forward
applying
into
the
what?
information?
Push forward
Where,
into
where
what? If there's nothing
but where would
there.
yeah, but where would you apply the information? How does it matter? Is the question. How
I,
would
I
you
I
apply it
wouldn't
to
I wouldn't
yourself?
believe it because how many times have they said the world was going to end in our lifetime?
Yeah. How do you apply the information to yourself? That's all. You
How do you
can't
apply?
believe what they
Well,
say the world was going to end in 2012 and 2000 and da da da. I don't live my
no.
life worrying
See,
about the world's going to end.
they're
It's going
basing
to be
their
taken over.
I know more than anybody else in the world, Tio, that you got the ability um postulate, to think
Oh yeah,
beyond
I like
this
having these
step. Like it's fucking
conversations.
chess. It's
Yeah,
chess, and you know what's coming. Like you can see the board, and
yeah. And
if
I
you can
just
see
live
that
my life
board,
accordingly. Yeah.
when you're the last pawn, going, yeah, fuck everybody up,
I'd rather
man.
personally be dead than the last man on earth.
Oh
I'd rather
yeah.
be dead.
See, I got daughters.
Yeah.
That's a problem. I'm not letting them go through. That's my
Well, if I'm the
only
last man
thing.
on
I don't
earth,
give
they're
a
not
fuck
here
about me,
anymore. If
right? Well,
I'm the
that's what I'm
last
talking
man
about.
on earth, they're not even with me.
Then I already went out. I don't give a fuck after that. Like that's the only
Yeah,
thing that matters
exactly.
to me is my kids. But I even told my son, I was like, if a nuke hits, it is very unlikely that you're going to make it to me. He's 6 hours away. Like, I would suggest it, but
I would go get them. Try to go get them.
oh hell no.
But
Bro, you know what happens in that situation? You ain't getting off the
I don't
highway.
think about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, head towards the mushroom cloud and you'll be happier soon. Um, I'm just, and it's dark,
Exactly.
and it is dark, and that's why my wife even calls me a doomer. But all I think is that I'm preparing in other ways, like in small ways. Because if it's a fucking nuke and it
You
hits
can
us
get
on the head,
food and water set aside so you can
yeah,
survive.
yep,
This is what I mean, applying it to myself. You
yeah,
prepare that way. You don't prepare
yeah,
to
plenty
change
of ammunition.
the outcome. You prepare to change yours.
I know some people
That's
that
it.
are preparing right now out in California and shit because of all this Iran stuff going on, and there's some people out there that are stocking up and they're preparing just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
it's
to be honest,
possible.
I was one of those
Not a bad
guys that
idea.
I was one of those guys. I look at people like that before. I was like, you guys are fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And then when
Preppers,
all
It's
the
not
you
COVID
nuts
when
crazy
all
because
when all the
fuckers.
COVID shit happened, and I go to the grocery store and I'm like, fucking shelves are empty. We ain't got no food. I was like, huh, these
they're
survivalists are
not
onto
that
something.
nuts. Them guys are not that nuts.
No, they're not.
All right, so this is a fucked up and real stat that they accept every single day, which is that when it comes to electricity, if America's electricity, because we only have we have a grid, it's very
Shut
old and very
down.
shitty. It only takes four different distinct hits and no more power. So within 30 days of no power, it was 80 to 85% of the populace would be dead.
Yeah. They don't know how to
That's a
survive. Most people don't know how to
No.
survive.
that's what I'm saying. The
Don't know
rest
how to
like
hunt, don't know how to grow crops. That's what survival is.
that's
It's
what I'm
not
saying.
stocking up on foods. It's learning how to grow seeds, how to hunt,
Yep.
how to gut an animal, how to sow.
That is the
That's
only thing
survival.
that we should be every man, and I think that's where that's our responsibility as well. Like I think that's the thing that we have to do is if we don't know how to do this thing, we need to learn how to do this thing because again, I said that generation's filled with a bunch of fuck ups. So you got to be able to pass the information along. Otherwise,
But
all right,
the
I'll just go to
information is only
fucking
good if people want to listen to it.
they'll want
Exactly.
to
You
listen
can't
to it when
force
it's
somebody
real.
to learn anything.
When it is real, they're gonna want to listen to really
It's
they're
too
gonna listen to
late.
you
And
for
by then it'll be too late.
It's
Be
too
too
late.
late.
Too late for what? See, because right
Too late.
now this is the
You can't prepare after an event occurs.
no, that's right.
That's the exact
But
opposite of what
if
preparation is.
if I have my preparation and my kids are just living their life, happy as shit,
Well,
uh,
then they're prepared.
this shit
Did you
happens.
show them how to do it? Yeah.
Fuck no. But I do have all of the manuals for
So you're
every
prepared
single
then.
thing.
So
I'm
that's the quite
as
opposite.
prepared as I can be.
If you wait until something occurs and you want to listen, you're already too late. You're not gonna make it.
Yep.
You got to
But
do it before.
they will
That's the word.
because
That's
of
what
me. That's what
prepare
I'm getting at.
means.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm getting at with that is that it's our responsibility as people that are capable of it. What is the saying? Hard men make
But you could tell somebody something a million times. If they don't process it, did it, and apply it, then it doesn't matter how much you tell them.
well the
Period.
saying it covers it like hard times make hard men make soft times make soft men make hard times. And it's like and we are in that space.
Paradigm.
Like
That's
they are
definitely
the
true.
next generation is that the softer generation, and they just are. It doesn't
Yeah,
help
it's
that
true.
it doesn't help that what was it? They're turning the frogs gay. What's the chemical? What's the chemical? Ah, fuck.
What's it,
I can't think
soy?
of it. No, but that
Yeah.
doesn't help. That doesn't help. Uh,
That produces
that
estrogen. Yeah, for sure.
like it give you bitch tits,
But
and
And the
everything
soy is a genetically modified food.
fluoride
One of the
hydrate.
first.
the
Well, not
problem
only
One of
that,
the
is
but just
first
with where
genetically
we are
modified
now
foods.
is we're in a soft time, but that generation doesn't believe in hunting. They don't believe in fishing. They don't believe in learning how
No,
to
they
build a
don't.
shelter.
soft.
So how
No,
do
they don't
they
even
come
want
out
to
of
learn
that?
it. That's the thing. I
They
used
they
to enjoy
believe
doing that as a
there's
kid.
people out there that fucking, and I shit you not, I've fucking seen it, where somebody will post a kill. Well, why don't you go to the grocery store where animals aren't harmed? What?
Well, how do you think you got the animal there, buddy?
Yeah. That's yard chicken.
It's
I
an
don't know.
idiom.
That's dude. That
That's yeah, that's a.
people are pretty fucking ignorant. I mean, and also there's dead internet theory is not a theory. Uh, there's more
It's
bots
like,
online than there are people, and they
but
don't
here's the thing.
interact just for
It's
shits.
like
Like,
these solar plants. Once you get a solar car, it's like the energy for those batteries are coming from somewhere. The electricity is still being produced to
mhm.
make solar energy. This is or any of these you're still using electricity. You know, an EPV powered car is still using a massive amount of electricity to be created. It
Oh, dude, not only
doesn't
to
come
be
out of
created, but
nowhere. It
where do you think
doesn't
that
just
all
come
that
out of
energy?
nowhere, you know? People are
Yo, when they
so
break down.
ignorant to shit.
Well,
Hmm?
And
but that's because
but
they don't want to. They don't. Who wants to fucking do that? Like, who wants to stress like I do? If you want to stress like I do, do more research. Like, like
You
who the
know,
fuck
people
wants
don't
to do that? Like, that's a sick.
like
That's like
like
a masochist right there.
yeah,
You know
like
you're
what
gonna
was said.
find bad shit. Stop looking.
People want to wake up, work a 9 to 5, come home, play with their kids, eat dinner, and go to bed. They don't want to.
most people don't even want to work the 9 to 5 anymore. They want to wake up. They want to have the funds in their fucking bank. They want to
Hmm.
sit
Yeah,
down and watch anime all fucking day and fucking jerk off to their fucking blow up doll and fucking call it a day.
that's facts, bro.
Sounds like it's
People don't want to
honestly
work.
that sounds like a good fucking time. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a great time.
That
If it's
could be the
how
life.
reality fucking worked, like that's not how it fucking works. Like and they have to get smacked in the face with that reality when they actually hit the job market. The only problem is that they know, and this is where it's at. They know that they're not buying a house. They know this. They're like, yeah, nobody can can't afford that. Are you fucking crazy? Because they don't have the opportunity, even with the getting the bachelor's. That's nothing. Like that's literally that job is now null and void. Just not only because it's
Yeah,
marketed,
absolutely. A bachelor's degree is like a high school diploma nowadays. It
yeah.
really is.
And now with AI, it's even worse. Like when I look around the room, it's just watch how many people immediately they're not doing any of the work, like literally any of the work. I'm not gonna
No, they're
say I
not doing
really,
any of the
I'm not
thinking,
gonna
and
say I
that's where true
haven't.
learning comes from is thinking, thought process, building neuroplasticity and neural brain
Yes,
waves. And the more they stop doing that, bringing it back to the school's purpose, right? They're not creating thinkers, they're creating doers of being told what to do.
your neurons, your neural pathways are weakened by it was some crazy number. I don't even want to try and misquote it, but it was a very high percentage that after 1 month of using ChatGPT like regularly, like that when it becomes the thing that you go to, it weakened their neural pathways by a large percentage. I want to say it's in the 60 percentile. It's like,
Well, it
what the
depends how
fuck?
you use your AI. You know, you can use it as a
Not thinking
mirror
anymore.
reflection tool, or you can use it for a Google on crack. You know what I mean?
But you gotta
And to
you
write for you and to think for you.
if you're raised, so the kids that were 16, and they got AI, or even even younger, like let's say they're 14, they're still developing. Oh, if I can just do this and it will answer it all for me and do all that,
That's
they're
what
not
you're
thinking.
learning to do then. That's the
Yes,
pathway you're building. Yeah.
yes.
100%.
So weakening us from the education point, the technology point, the fucking food point, the water point. It's pretty much it's part of the plan. And like I said, 2.2
Yeah.
billion people. That's a lot of people to have to get rid of. There's a pretty easy way to do it. We'll do it over the course of, like, 20 years. Cool.
You know, what do they care?
If you take a gun, if you take a gun and shoot somebody, it is murder. But if you take and give them a deadly chemical for 20 years and they die, you're like, sorry guys. Yep, that's
That's just
natural.
part of the
They did
food
it with knowing.
system.
They did it with knowing. Like Florida just did the candy study, and they studied all the kids' candies just to see what was in them. And if it's not chocolate or made of actual chocolate, then it's got
Chemicals.
aluminum, borium, cadmium, so all these metals, and cyanide.
Poison, bro.
Cyanide. Like, how'd you guys get that? It's for the dyes. What the
Yeah.
cyanide? So if
We're
you
all
ate,
eating. I
say
mean,
you
that's,
ate,
yeah, that's true.
nerds are the worst. If you were to
This is the
eat
control, but
fucking
this is
If you
the
were to eat
illusion
the
that's
whole
passed
box,
off.
you've exceeded your limit for a year and a half to 2 years. Like, one box. Shit, we used to eat the fuck out of that stuff. So the question being, was it there at the time, or are they increasing putting the thumb down, like putting the thumb on us? And that's where
Yeah.
hard to
Well,
control.
it comes to, yeah, control. We live in a control mechanism. We've established
Yes,
this. The
yes.
way out of the control, the way to unplug the matrix is to prepare for yourself, take care of your family, do for you, create and be creative and build with people. And that's how you get through life. You know what I mean?
If
That's
you
This is all
knew,
good topics here, man.
like, all right, is your underground burrow ready? Like, do you have a fucking fallout shelter? Hell no. But if you knew that that was the date coming, you'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna make sure it's done by then, though. You right?
Yeah,
Sure. Like,
But could
so
you
it's
could
the
you
sure. How
afford a
sure are you?
fallout shelter though? Could
exactly.
could the
You
average
can.
person afford it?
Hell
Yes.
no.
Yes,
No
you
way.
can. Yes, you can. No, like for real, because like you already know, Tio. Have I shared the plans? So
Well,
I
you could
can't.
build anyone could build a fort underground. That's not difficult to do.
Three
Really
Connex
isn't.
boxes. Three Connex boxes. They're fused together. They're 6 feet underground.
You do it
You
out of
just
wood and
support
you
the.
would be able to survive a blast or something like that. You
Oh
think
yeah,
about
but
when I was a
the
kid, we
Connex
used
will
to
keep
go
it
in little
good.
shelters, little like in the movie The Wizard of Oz. My grandma had a cellar that we would climb into if there was a tornado or something growing up in Buffalo.
I can
That's
give
all
you
you
all the
need.
survivable. I can give you all the survivable supplies that you'll need, and it costs roughly anywhere from $8,000 to $11,000 depending on how you go. With
You know, the
redundancies,
average
fourteen
person
thousand
don't got
bucks.
11 grand to spend.
You don't have to do it all at one time. You literally, that's
Yeah,
what
but
the
what I'm saying,
preparation is for. Like, yo,
yeah, the
if you
average
say,
person, but bringing it back, the average person isn't going to do it because they hear 11 grand. They're like, I don't have 11 grand. I'm not wasting 11 grand on something I don't know is true. That's just
Yeah.
the
that's the
average
thing. If you
mindset,
didn't know, yeah, if you didn't know it was true, and that's the thing is like I'm 95% sure that this is the dystopian timeline because at least one of these fucking one of these options in reality had to fucking go well because this is not the one. Um, just based on what we got,
Yeah.
like it just all went sideways really fucking quick. All right, like we can tell the story later. It went sideways really fucking quick. Uh, but
Yep,
yeah, like
and here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna still make
keep living my
music. I'm gonna
life.
live
Yeah,
life. I'm just gonna push through like every
I'm literally
day.
doing the same thing. I'm literally doing the same thing because it has stressed me. It has been, a topic of conversation and debate and fucking like how should I be spending my time exactly? And you see me getting a pointless fucking degree.
Yeah, I can't
Like
worry about all that.
I'm getting a pointless fucking degree and at great I drive 2 hours every or 2 hours there, 2 hours back every fucking Tuesday, Thursday just to be able to fucking do it. It's like, why? It's a piece of paper that ain't gonna make you no money. Yeah. Cause
Well, it's more, it depends on how you look at school. I got a master's degree. It's an
yeah,
accomplishment for me,
that's it. That's all it
so
is. It's like,
yeah,
oh
it's an
yeah,
accomplishment.
good job. Are you
No,
any better
I,
at your
I
job?
proved something to
No,
my
actually.
just like anything in life. No, I'm not teaching. I don't do anything with it, but I did it. I can say that for me. I don't really hold it out in front of people's paper like, look what I got. Who cares?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Nobody gives a fuck. Even the the job doesn't really give a fuck if you had. I've had a I
No,
was a
they
director
don't.
of
That's why
marketing. I was director of
don't worry
marketing
about it.
for a physical therapy company with no degree. They didn't give a fuck. You're supposed to have a master's degree to be the director, and it's like, no, I've just been doing it a while. Like she recruited me out of the paper when I was selling marketing, and it's like, huh, okay, so you don't need this thing. I mean, just work on it if if you can, if you have time. Okay,
No, it's
but
just
now,
it's all money. That's it's all money stuff too. You know what I mean? It's a way to capture money to captivate to program and institutionalize. That's all school
yeah,
really
we ain't
is.
we're we. There's no reason. Like, yes, Dewey, what's his last name?
John Dewey.
John Dewey.
That's his
See,
name.
that's
John
yeah,
Dewey.
that's his last name. All right. Yeah, no, John Dewey, like that whole thing, like I learned about the
Father
18th,
of
the
modern
17th or
education.
18th century. Yeah. 18th
Yeah.
century.
Socialism
Yeah.
in its purest
Yeah,
form.
the
He
Russians.
studied with Engels, yeah, for sure. And that's
But
the
just
father of our
uncovering that.
education system. And that's K-12 and our collegiate level. So and that's a model that's passed on from England and pretty much into every country because England seeded most of these countries, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Philosophy
it's
wise.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, and then when you look at philosophy, like Rockefellers, the people, the names, the families, like they end up having a like BlackRock. Who the fuck owns BlackRock? Turns out,
You
like
know,
fucking Vanguard owns parts of
people don't even
BlackRock
know what
with fucking
BlackRock
State Street.
is.
And see, that's what I'm saying. Like the level of ignorance is just as it's only as deep because it keeps going. No matter how fucking far you go into that rabbit hole, it just fucking keeps going. So it's
Yeah,
it can become
100%.
it can become a problem because once you're aware of a
So
certain thing, like you said, you
my
can't
music
unlearn it.
expresses. That's the thing. My music expresses and explores those rabbit holes. That's why I
Yep,
enjoyed with my creative
same.
being. You know what I mean? Is I talk about these concepts sometimes too, and it's interesting to me. These are good conversations because this is what my music really explores is the
Literally,
reality of things. You know?
John Dewey.
You know what's really
Yeah.
funny though is that every episode I've done, somehow, some way, we always end up in this type of conversation.
Because you're
It's
bringing
because
intellectuals on.
that's
You're
it.
an intellectual
Like-minded
yourself, and
folks.
so yeah, iron sharpens iron. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just I mean when you see somebody that's capable of having the same conversation and not getting politically offended or even like we
Oh,
have friends down in Australia, they got pissed off at like this the smallest thing, and it was like, dude, what the fuck, like
who
what the
cares?
fuck,
Yeah, we're just
you kept
talking.
calling
We're
me a
just having
cunt,
discourse.
motherfucker. No.
Yeah, it's discourse. We're
uh
having discourse. This is what I said when I was a teacher. I taught the debate team for this reason because people don't know how to talk and have hold real conversations.
I don't have
And
to
some
agree with
people
you. That's
do.
the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's being it's not only tribalism, but it's like what's it called when you're sure you're always like your side is always the winning side. So like it's
that's a
definitive.
bias.
So
Well,
you have to get
the whole reason people don't know how to talk is because of this.
Yeah, we don't talk and we don't communicate like we used to.
They
That's
do
true.
this and they don't have conversation skills anymore. So nobody
Yeah, it's
knows
very
how to
true.
sit down and interact with somebody anymore.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's really fucking creepy that you could take a group of teenagers and put them in
uh
a room together and they'll text each other.
Yeah, they're texting each
You know
other.
what I
That's
mean?
true.
But they
you
won't
know,
they
That's
won't
true.
listen.
and they're not even using
They do it
words, they're
at the
mostly
job I
using
work.
emojis. Like they're
Yeah,
It's
they
using
do it and they don't
emojis.
even say
YouTube
words.
emojis,
Yeah,
dude.
they're using pictographs. We're like
Yep.
we're digressing in our
Yes,
language.
devolving. Yes, we're absolutely devolving, and it's intentional. Plus, also, just for you got your own knowledge, like when you do this and you look down, you're actually cutting off blood flow,
Yeah,
proper
you
blood
are
flow
your
to your
brain. That's
brain,
true.
like to the brain
That is
stem.
true.
That's that right there is enough to go. All right, I don't care. You need to get stronger arms or some shit, like because
Yeah,
like it has
it's
its effect.
true. I've
Everything
read
has
that
its
myself.
effects.
It's defibrillating the purpose of one of the vertebrae that we use to go upright, which has allowed the flow of oxygen and blood to our brains, which was made us knowledgeable creatures. This is you're
Yeah.
Hmm.
absolutely right, man.
It's I like
It's
to
crazy.
but all this does what does it do for you though? Like that's the thing. Like I know the stuff and I believe it like 100%. And I always said that if I was more religious, say a Christian, I would fuck everything. Like fuck all y'all. If I knew for a fact that you follow this book and you do that and you whatever the fuck it says to do and you follow it
You're
to the
gonna
T, I
100%.
would do
Yeah.
just that. That's the only way to do it because you believe it. And that's where like shit this I believe this shit. So I think that preparation is necessary. Like just that silver crisis, that alone like flipped me the fuck out because I was like, fuck, I was not ready. Like I was not ready at that point. That was
Uh,
not it.
If I would have owned,
Um,
I was because I own a gang of silver.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I tried to get some too, here recently, and fucking
I was buying silver at $13, $11 an ounce, bro.
man. Yo, so what about
I
you?
don't know.
You ever deal with metals up there?
I don't
No?
got time for that shit.
Yo,
However, I have been contemplating me and my wife going to Colombia and buying gold because you can get better prices on gold down there.
I say
that's
silver is
probably
a
the way
better
to do.
buy. It's a better return on investment.
Yeah,
Silver
yeah,
is
yeah.
100%.
I've been saying that for a long time, and it just, I mean,
Yeah.
it was good. It's
Silver
the
is
same
just
thing.
a
You can
better
go over
return
to
on investment.
Yeah, if you go over to Saudi and stuff, you can get gold for so cheap, but it's still they end up taxing you when you bring it back in because it's over a certain amount worth. So
Yeah.
it's like you'd have to buy enough to make it really really worth it. Um,
Yeah, the whole
but
thing is we could keep it down there because she's Colombian and we got a
oh,
place
word.
down there. So
Oh, yeah. And that's it.
Yes.
You should 100% do that. I would 100% encourage that, man.
I'm 100% leaving Canada as soon as my son is a certain age. I'm fucking out of
Yes.
here.
I
Yes.
don't blame you. I'd leave
Gone.
America if I didn't have my
How is
daughter.
he
I'd
now?
leave this state in America.
I leave, man. I
100%.
don't mind. Like I said, 16 schools mean I like to move. But my daughter is obsessed with staying right the fuck. Like she's obsessed with it. It's like this is my house. I mean, mom's allowed to move and stuff, but you have to stay here. It's like, I mean, I have other things to do. This is not the town that I envisioned living in. She's like, until I leave, and even when I leave, you're gonna keep the house, keep my room like it is. Like she's very specific, and she's 12 years old. Like she ain't supposed to. Like that's not realistic. We got to move the fuck out. Nope. The only thing I've said recently is because we are getting a water treatment facility right here, like right down the street, and another million square foot factory to make jet gasoline jet engines. I'm like, bro, fuck that. I'm not about to be a mile off of that shit. Nope, nope.
Yeah,
I'm looking
all
for.
your water gone.
Oh
Where
yeah,
in
all the
All
Where
water.
in
your
Florida
water
are you?
gone.
I'm in the Panhandle, over by like Pensacola, Destin. Um, yeah, I'm 30 miles away from the beach, and I'm later 30 miles away from Alabama. Like
Okay.
it's in that part. All right, you know what
Yeah,
I'm
you
saying,
live in the
man?
middle of it.
They
It's in the
fucking
middle of nowhere.
it's red country. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
it's definitely definitely the country.
Crest
Whereas I
Tucky,
live in
Crest
Phoenix,
Virginia.
and it's the Phoenix is the fifth growing city in this country, one of the fastest growing
Mhm.
cities in the world. You know what I mean? It's
Austin's got to
just
be.
expanding on top of expanding, and it's in the middle of a desert, and
It's a ton
you're
of
not
shit
even guaranteed to be
happening.
able to live here in 10, 15, 20 years.
That's what I'm saying.
I was down in Oviedo,
Yeah, yeah, Oviedo
last year. Wife has
in
a good
Orlando.
friend down there, and I was fucking shocked by the amount of fucking gators. Holy shit.
Dude,
You'll
it's
be
That shit's
driving
real,
over
bro.
you'll be
I
driving a
heard.
bridge and all you see is just fucking gators everywhere. I
Everywhere.
was like, I
Yeah.
always heard about it, but I didn't think it was like that
For real.
populated.
Yeah, that shit's real.
It wasn't always like that either cuz like I've lived here since I was a kid like on and off and it hasn't always been like that. It's just the fact that they were coming down south like like South Florida. Yes, they were like that down there and then they've been booming in population.
Yeah.
There's actually hunts. Like you can go I mean you can go hunt them and they'll
Because they
pay you
just
for
release them off
the
into the
edge.
wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean,
There's a
they're swimming
ton
over
of
here. We got
gators now.
crocodiles for some reason. That's fucked up. Why do
Yeah.
we have crocodiles? That's not supposed to happen over here. They had to
Yeah.
either y'all let them out or they
You
fucking
know,
swam across the ocean. Fuck you.
no, you know what it is? A lot of it's encroachment of lands, and it's pushing animals into. We're starting to see more animals in our
Yeah,
cityscapes
yeah.
because we're really encroaching in on animals' lands.
That's
Oh,
I
that's
know in the
crazy.
desert we do like crazy.
you know what's fucked up is that we're actually so if you go to the East Coast in Canada where Newfoundland is, like
Yeah,
Newfoundland, Nova Scotia area, we're actually
Yeah.
starting to get great whites all the way up there.
that's crazy.
They're like, yeah, fucking this. Hey, this is unhunted water. Yeah, no,
Hmm.
I'm not trying to fucking. I mean, we still go out on the beach. We still go out in the rivers. Like that's the freakiest thing is like being in the river and then getting to the end of the river there, and everybody gets out. We go back over a bridge, and it's like, hey, three baby gators, like right there. Where the fuck is
We were
mom?
just
Because
there.
like we were just there. There's people just continuously going down the river. It's like, all
Yeah,
right, this is, but it's just it's like hurricanes. Like people freak out about hurricanes. Like, hurricane party. Like you're just gonna go, hey, we're getting fucked up because like, again, what can you do? Like that whole
Yeah.
apathy about what can you do? Like what can you do? It's like, all right, well, fuck, man, we may not
yeah.
have
When the
power, but
natural disaster
that's
hits, it
right.
hits. You ain't doing
Yeah.
shit. You either get out of the area or you brace for it.
Yeah. But we fortunately,
Nature don't play.
living where I live at, you saw that thing where it said Crestview? It was Matt Gates talking about Crestview. I
Mm-mm.
think I said, oh, I didn't send it to you, dude. So our state representative, is like, hey, aliens are real. I was briefed by a guy at Crestview, Florida. I was like, the fuck? I'm in a private
Really?
account.
I
There's
gotta
nothing
read
here.
that.
There's
I
no
gotta
Air Force
read
Base.
that.
Yeah, no, I'll send it to you. Like it's a video where it's
Yeah,
just
I gotta
it's
read
him
that.
saying it. He goes, he's like, yes, the aliens are real. On the base there, there's a alien breeding, human breeding fucking facility. I'm like,
I
no,
gotta see this. I gotta
I'll
I
send
see
it over
seen
to
this.
you.
yo, I seen something about that the other day. Now that you're speaking about it, I wasn't watching it, but I had something playing in the background. I was hearing them talk about it, and I forget what it was.
It's right there. Like, because I mean, it is a weird place. This is a very, very weird place. It makes you believe in a lot of crazy things. It's like Erie, Indiana. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's crazy shit that happens here because we're outside of the largest Air Force base in the country,
Outside of Buffalo
unknown.
too, bro.
Dude,
You
it's
know, you get a lot of weird shit going
that's
outside
t-
of Buffalo too.
we got everything though. We got Space Force. We
Western New
got fucking
York.
we got Special Forces, CIA, Rangers. It's it's the CIA fucking training zone for um CIs. I'm like, motherfucker. Like, it's a weird shit happens here. There's more widows, like female widows. I've never met. I've never gone a place where there was so many. Like, and it's a they're young girls and their husbands died in random weird fucking ways. It's like, huh, this is
Yeah.
fucking weird.
Yeah,
But that's
there's always been a lot of experimentation going on, and they use the public because I believe wholeheartedly in extra dimensional beings that they not only are here, they walk the earth or amongst us, but I've been called crazy my whole life on it. It's like this shit's starting to come to light, and I've been researching this for decades. It's like,
when they said aliens were real, I was
uh,
like, I don't believe it anymore. As soon as they said that, I've been since I was a kid. I'm like, oh yeah, aliens for real. Obviously, the numbers just don't lie. And then, and then to hear him go, yeah, yeah, they're real. All right, they haven't met him because they ain't gonna tell us. Like they wouldn't tell
yeah,
you. That would
they're
change.
not going
It
to tell us
changes
how
too
real
much.
they are, though.
But they did say it. I mean, they've said it multiple.
Yeah, that's something
Obama
they
just
would have
said
never
it
said
like 2 weeks ago. It's
because
like,
Yeah, didn't
we're all the
Obama
same
just
age.
say
They
it
would have
and then
never said that.
yes,
and then somebody asked Trump about it and Trump was like, "Yeah, he wasn't supposed to say that."
yeah,
You know,
and he needs to
we're all
redact
the
that. And
same
he did
age, and they didn't talk
redact
like
that.
that when we were kids.
Fuck no. It was like that's crazy talk, you guys. But that's what conspiracy theorists, that's what that term is for. It's to literally go, "Oh, that guy's crazy," right? Point at the guy that's crazy. It's like, yeah, but later on they're gonna be like,
Behind
"Oh,
every conspiracy, though, there's a fact that started the thought.
yeah." Oh,
That's
all
what people
types of
don't
shit. And
realize.
it's fun. Like all these shits are declassified documents that are available. Like I have a shit ton of them, and even the patent numbers from Google Patent. Just look up the different things that they do, and it's like,
It's all public
what the
knowledge.
fuck?
That's the other thing people don't know is all of this stuff we're talking about is public knowledge. We're not talking
Yeah.
conspiracy or made up stuff. This is all
No,
public knowledge.
it's verifiable shit.
Even if you
And
go,
If you go look for it.
even if you go back to like the frequency of like the hertz that the radio is transmitted in,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and there's a
And
certain
notes.
hertz that you're supposed to listen to and not listen to, and
Yeah,
it
Yeah.
affects you and your
Your frequency.
brain.
We're just frequency. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
we're just
I
one vibration.
I'll send you three patents, and it's for exactly that. Where it's for the phone. Well, it's the initial technology for the idea of being able to pulse
The
low
cellular phone.
frequency.
Yeah.
Well, pulse low frequencies below 10 hertz, and then they can get you sexually aroused, irritated, mad, sad. Like they can do that through just these pulses, and they can happen in your phone, and they do happen in your phone. It's all three. It's the technology. It's them doing it in a phone, and then
Oh,
it's they do it through screens as well, like through these
So
screens, and that
so
sounds fucking crazy.
so what you're saying is for the guys out there that don't have good luck with the ladies, they could turn on certain music at certain
Yes,
frequencies and they they could
absolutely.
arouse the lady.
That is yes, 100%, and that
absolutely.
is a real thing. They've been using sex,
Or
and
just it's
that's
just a
it's a
vibration.
predominant. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
it's a
predominant thing though
vibration.
that people it's easy to tap into. Like
Think
we're
about it. They would
fucking.
say back in the day, what? Baby making music, right?
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
So, it's just baby making music is that frequency that just gets you in the
That
mood.
baby
That's
making music.
Music plays a lot of part in of this because
Yeah.
music itself is a vibration and it's coming out of a mouth. You're right here vibrating
Yeah.
out and then hitting your inner ear vibrating in.
there's there's too much going on for us to actually comprehend like what it is. None of this, okay, well, for one, none of this is real. Like as far as this is an interpretation that your brain makes. It's in a bone box. It has to relay,
Absolutely.
interpret, and do all this shit in like in
Real time.
nanoseconds for you to know anything. For you to know that
Real
this is
time.
purple, a lighter. When I drop it, it's going to do this. When I pick it up, it's that. It should be this temperature. All those things are in different places in your brain, and so like
Yeah.
to connect those in one coherent thought. But you do that with every item as you look around a room. That's that's quantum right there. Like it doesn't actually go in straight lines. Like those neural pathways that we think. That's the burn ends. Like those are physical lines. Like those neural pathways are physical, not just like a
Yeah,
concept.
they're
You know?
100% physical. Neural
Yeah.
pathways are
All
transmitted
right.
through
So
neuroplasticity, which
let me
allows it to leak
let me ask you
radioactive.
this. So they say that that we use not even half of our brain, right?
Hmm.
So, let's just, for simplicity sake, let's just say half of our brain is dormant.
Mhm.
What is it that you think makes that half of the brain dormant? And do you believe in microdosing
Yes.
in terms of opening up those
Macro
portions of
Portals.
the
dosing.
brain?
Yeah, because what your brain is sitting dormant for is because the reality in which you're perceiving, it would be an overflux. Like so when you microdose, you trip, you untap that filter and let more in. You more your brain is being stimulated, more of
Mhm.
the reality and not around you is coming in. Half of our brain is dormant because if it wasn't, just waking up and seeing everything we see would be so overstimulating to us, so overwhelming, we would maybe explode. You know what I mean? Like
Your
it would be
brain
too much information to process.
so all it is electromagnetic pulses going forward in the brain, connecting, making those thoughts. It's the neurons. So like, okay, if that's the case, then all we're really doing is like if we were to
A
say we do use
microprocessor.
50%. Yeah, they say that it's 10% that you use at any one time because otherwise like as you increase from that 10%, like you use your whole brain other than the what is it, the white matter. Like the gray matter is good, the white matter, we're getting more of that. But like yeah, no, like if you're only using 50, shit. If you did it to 60, 70, you'd increase the amount of repetitions of the electricity in your brain, literally cooking you from the inside. So there's like a regulator on it. So more
Yeah, I
evidence,
believe
what I would
so.
say is for that simulation. Everything that we want to do, if there's a limit, it's like, hey, speed of light, that's the limit. And we just found out that's not
Yeah,
true. Quantum entanglement.
but here's the thing: it has to do that. The brain is doing this to keep you in this physical reality. Because if it didn't,
Yes.
then the physical would change. And so
Yeah.
it's dumbing it down, your brain down, because it would be just too much information.
It
Period.
would, yeah, but that's what there's a speed limit for everything for a reason. Like we can't, we want
Your
to,
brain is still
we search for
processing.
knowledge.
It's just not allowing you to perceive it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Your brain is still
Oh,
processing
oh,
it.
oh,
It's just not
absolutely.
allowing you to perceive it because it'd be too much.
Yes, I agree with you 100% with the study they did just now with the like seeing the set, what is it, the seventh sense, I think they called it, like where you can, so they took there's birds, they go on the beach, then they know where the worms are and the different things that are in the sand without even, they're like, how'd they do that? Well, they have a
No
specific type of beat
radar.
that it's kind of like radar, right? Like that's how what they do. We have that same ability without that same radar. Like people are holding their hands over a it's a box of sand and they put whatever object underneath it and they go, "Where's the object?" And like 95% of the time everybody gets it exactly right and it's like, "Why the fuck?" Like that's weird. Like as you go deeper it's less, but that means that you have a connection that you're not aware of. I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah.
like the gut feeling, but it's not like it's a physical reaction. So like the same way that Yale, they put a belt on these participants, and it would always like it vibrates around the whole belt. And the only thing, I'm sorry, it vibrates in the place that's north, but it's got like vibrations across the whole belt, so that when you face that way, north is still that way. It's going to vibrate on your back, like just so that you get used to it. So they wear that for a week, for up to 6 months afterwards they could go anywhere, turn, around, do whatever the fuck, and they're like, oh, that's north right there. that's abilities that we're unaware of, like the same way that birds travel.
Sure.
Like we're unaware
Sure.
of
Well, that's
everything
because
that's around
it
us.
goes back to what we were talking about. Everything is part of the same source. We're not individual fingers on a hand. We're a hand operating within an arm operating within the shoulder and the body,
Yeah.
and it's all one unit. But
But you think that you're
individually,
special.
pinky thinks it's
It's just
pinky,
one.
and the ring finger thinks it's the ring finger. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it
Yeah.
isn't. It's part of a
No.
bigger
How
picture.
much of your body, if you're what is it? If you're 70% water and you're also like what is it?
90%
Like
cock is what I have right here.
90% cock?
It's a big
That's
man's dick.
that's called elephantitis, bro.
Yeah. It takes one to know one.
It takes one to know one.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely.
Like yeah, man. Like yeah, fuck. Damn. See, then I got high. Yo, I gotta jet because I actually have a test in fucking half an hour that I didn't study for, but we'll be all right. I'm graduating in a month. I don't give a fuck.
All right,
But yo,
man.
it was a great conversation, you guys.
It was great
Yeah,
having
this
you
has been a
guys.
really good
I
show.
appreciate your time. I always say that time is the most expensive currency because you can't make it back. So
Yeah,
I appreciate your
absolutely.
time. And
And
so
I appreciate you having me on here, man. Shouts out to Cigar Talk. Shouts out to Toronto. I'm Teal Lestat. I'm a mean boom bap MC. Check me out.
and
Teal_Lestat. Check out Cigar Talk.
You got your 10-second fucking elevator pitch. Yes. That's how it's
and
done.
yeah, we'll stay in touch, man. We'll do some things
Yeah.
together and shit, and we'll keep it
Absolutely.
moving.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
let's keep
send y'all
building,
some
man.
memes.
Hey,
Let's
I
keep
love the
building.
memes, man. Send them my way.
Done. All right, later,
All right.
y'all.
Salute, fellas.
Peace.
I want to send a special shout out, Cigar Talk Toronto. Special shout out to Croatian Mafia Cigars. It's for the gangster in you, nigga. It's for the gangsters. DJ Mikey G. Put some cut on that dope. Lefty Pacino. Take it personal. Take it personal. Click, clack the beam. Take it personal. I spit the caffeine. Take it personal. Feel what I mean? The 30R6 to M16s. We got them ruggin'. I'm your favorite uncle. I'm the alcoholic street niggas with the guns and the duffel. I'm the one that used to smoke the cigar and whip the truffle. The one that Granny said always started trouble. The backcourt shot a triple-double. Coach kicked me out the gym cause the gun was bigger than the muscle. Now let me introduce you to the hustle. I whip the white till it locked and snip the residue above my knuckles. The epitome of street scuffle. I hit him hard with the banger, I was trying to make the belt buckle. I hit the corner and I make it bubble. What's in the pocket of my goose will make your feathers ruffle. God, I don't trust you, make the gauge bust you. We keep the circle tight, you just another square if we don't discuss you. Take it Take it personal. Click, clack the beam. Take it personal. I spit the caffeine. Take it personal. Feel what I mean? The 30R6 to M16s. We gotta plug in. Take it personal. Click, clack the beam. Take it personal. I spit the caffeine. Take it personal. Feel what I mean? The 30R6 to M16s. We gotta get pillage through your village. Leave my spillage on your mistress. Attacking everything, you go on the hit list.